that they've contracted the COVID-19.
779.
Okay. And we have our security personnel that they went to voter region, that they've been going house to house to go and look for people that they are not Ghanaians. But I think that we can all agree on one principle, say, even for you to prove that someone is not a Ghanaian or say a court, then the court can decide, say, oh yeah, and I say one year. A year isolation, and as a quarantine, the president, a year Supreme Court in Pennyphobe, educational minister, Napo, like they all fall victim. I think say, according to Matthew Prempre Opoku, he was saying, say, we are at a very critical point. Say, UGMC and Kolebuno, the beds are currently full. International say, Bibi Bakrampuna, unya access our bed home. Papa we no kum chacha, okay, say me say, why is the government set conditions for the religious body, say they can perform their program for 1 hour intervals intermittently, but the EC can go ahead and do their registration unstoppable. The political parties, they cannot campaign, but the EC can go ahead and do it. And we can all see the chaos about your crew, like the fighting, social distancing. It's like, the EC put a comprehensive plan, said, this is what I want you guys to follow. But at the end of the day, it's not happening. It's not saying I also ordering FR near air course, 7 minutes. And I'm a day now.
Oh.
Yeah, what for made when they were starting.
And you started free.
COVID-19 and registration.
Yeah. COVID-19 and registration.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you very much. Mami fasa kwanye so na enchie di ka mechiao. Na mechia me co-panelists nyina so. Mechia NDC USA fu nyina. Especially a chapter executive chairperson Amadazi. And I mechia enuanum MPP fu nyina so omo a. Na mechia tie fu nyina. And na chia kese so ekoma the incoming president. Oye John Dramani Mahama. And the vice president, a Professor Nana Jane Opoku Ajimai. Say, Rade Enchika Omuhu Ghana. Na Nyame Beye or the Bibia Betu Nakwaimu. 7th December, no, they will be the president and the vice for our country. A new Ghana will be born on 7th December. Okay, having said that, about the EC registration, what do you call it, and the COVID. Actually, what do you call it? Also, when who says asemi ya start here. I think the first day I ever had no topic me boy. The first day I maybe share me Bramazu. That was the first topic we started with when we met here. When we said me catcher will say the main thing that have made this thing to be escalating. And right now, it is like it is out of hand. We can't control it in our country no more. Was the initial stage, the steps that we took, wasn't the right thing to be done? Have you seen it? When the thing was coming now, able bodies, and I said, like Mika, Dark UMLs, or yeah, professional medical doctor, but he just decided to shift from medical to what do you call it? Pastoral or ministerial work. What do I say? Yen two borders, that was the first thing we have to do. Yantie, the government in power didn't listen. Afempo no mu started say no mu kokoto ya o mu to ne ade. Ye trinye na yare ne buy. Even when this thing came, we should have made the lockdown should have come immediately. When you know Makanda, but I say, and no one am I just want to recapitulate a little what I've said before. So what I say. Time in year 123, you're calling for lockdown. I didn't call 1,000 and over 3,000 year, lift up. For what reason we don't know. You beside I say science. and advise your president and so on. Meanwhile, all those things, it doesn't make sense. You see where the thing is today? And then, luckily for us, we had money. We went to IMF for 1 billion. Huh? Also, 1 billion, yes, 100 million. What's it? Dollars, 1 billion from IMF. And then $100 million from World Bank. And our corporate bodies in Swasama Yeska, aware. Corporate bodies were donating. Who can in 2.8 trillion? Says he is how they call Accra Sports Stadium now. If you go a whole in Abayama, Accra Sports Stadium be flooded with that 2.8 trillion. Bisami said then here the aye. And their doctors are only as you have said, help workers or manya yare no be broja wogana. Enya nwanwa. Sikani ye hu dia ban ne de ye, omakoji na oma betena so. E na ye hu dia omudi sikani ye. Hwe lockdown time omo so omu fidi nkrofo hwe aduane on de ma wan kasa wani tua o soja. Wo hwe sa aduane aye de ma omo no worth 2 million Ghana cedis a day. Can somebody support that idea? That food that we were seeing cost 2 million Ghana cedis a day.
Although it's 100 cedis Ghana, 100 Ghana cedis is 1 million old cedis.
The 2 million Ghana cedis a day. That is what they were telling us. You see, that is the initial stage of it.
2 million
Ghana
old Ghana cedis.
Old Ghana
200 Ghana cedis.
200,000.
200 Ghana cedis, new cedis.
And yeah, 200 Ghana cedis are better. 200,000. Which is for
a
day,
meal or
a day. Eduane ano mo de mano. What they say? Eduane ano mo so mo che no. Na mo so mo di line mo. So what they say? Ni nyina no yes okay, they are calling for the pass one of their own surrogate. Is calling for the accountability of that money. If you people have heard it, they say they should come and give account of that because ikana abedi mu nsam any what we are seeing no ye hu hwe. Doctors as you see from the very first time I told you that they brought it and my friend chastised me a little while. That is the rule of the game. It is true in Ghana today. If you ask even a small child, they'll tell Nana Koro. He has been named Nana Koro. It's Nana Ado who brought the coronavirus, so it is now known as Nana Koro. Have you seen it? Tamaye catch on say bo mine who buy bo uncle for who buy no one tie and now they are and by half they also bear contact rate. Do you know what is happening today? Even the contact tracing, Dr. Anaba spoke. I learned that those who have expertise in it are not giving the job. They have given it to their own party members and they are making money from it. Like the food they were giving like this, it was given to party people, party for nature, and they are reaping the money into their pocket. So, a better na yare and spread it. And we know that we are within the pandemic season. COVID-19 is around. What do you have to do? COVID-19, you said we should go and do registration. Have you seen where the problem is coming from? And the doctors, medical advisors are saying, just after your primaries, the thing has escalated. Because there was no social distancing. People were just clumsy like that. Why, if somebody is having it, you can imagine how you'll be able to transfer it to the other person. And this thing after that, skyrocketed here. It is now ubiquitous and commonplace everywhere. Due to what? The lackadaisical attitude of the government. He even lifted the thing. Time I was calling for the first lift up. Do you know why? It was because they wanted to have their primaries and then presidential election. Onya lefty ya ni ehu ye mebwana. And this was well known. Ghanaians, everybody is saying it like that. Aden eda we be doing political to the peril of the lives of your people. Have you seen it? This government is not thinking about the lives of the people, but rather political gain. And baby, yemfa no twankosi baby. Register yewo corporate bodies. Everybody has spoken about it. Say register that way. If even cry is not the Ghanaians who are saying it too. Your own electoral commission came to tell us that 99 point something correct. So why are you saying that the whole you came 3.5 years when who's be changing register until you have seen that you have failed, total failure, and Ghanaians you have seen that you are out of government already. Now your only this thing to manipulate and stay power is to compile a new register, And therefore, people should go out and queue in this pandemic to pile their names. Meanwhile, we have a register which is credible. We have used it for 3 national elections. Assemblyman election in just 2017, 17th December. For the referendum. And then for Ayawasu West Wagon. All you came to tell us the register was credible and accurate. And then also, Adinkra president is so was seen as on Ghana for me the Isi so say mean the president say isi no so on president all those big men, everybody, corporate body speaking about this. Imani, Ghana, Adam Ghana, all the corporate bodies that we have in Ghana have spoken against it. That we don't need it. When you say it, the only thing you do is they will let security guards to come and pick you up just because you have spoken against it. Isi no say na so ntia asema. So can the president advise the EC? That situation here you want me and yet are you getting the whole thing now? So it's like what is going on now. That is why we say compilation of the register. It's the president who is asking the EC to do that. Because so be a kasa, corporate bodies kasa, ye ma minimum kasa. See nkrofobe medical doctors are saying. Are you aware that medical doctors have sent the EC a letter that you should bring the registration to an end, else our country will be a lot of people are going to die. Are you aware of that? Are you aware? So, soldier. Yeah, yes. Thank you very much. So, upon all this, in the EC is still telling us, one thing, how? Where are we heading towards? Or say suspended? Or they also would register now about compiler. Suspended. Because or say one my timeline say if we medical people are saying that if we should continue in the next the whole country will be having corona and people will be dying. Now, so who consent confirm control no munya corona said if the people die, who are going to vote for you come 7th December? Is that not, have you seen the whole thing now?
40 seconds.
40 seconds. Okay. So looking at the whole thing now, registration, and even I said last week, if you see the way now they are now busing people, I sent you some videos. Asujamai NDC group have organized a press conference. They arrest people every day. The MPP people are bringing people from Accra. They are bringing from Asisewa. They are bringing them into their constituency to register. This is Adeo. Uko Jama Nofa. The same thing. Full bus was brought by Siaka Stephen from MPP camp to come and register in different areas where they don't belong to. Just to manipulate the electorate. Yes. Just to manipulate the electorate. This is what I said last weekend. I was chastised by my colleague that it wasn't true. The facts are there now. I send you all the videos. You see, some of us, we have the information, whatever is going on. So, me 30 seconds. It in a nutshell, no? 30 seconds. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. So, in a nutshell, no? The problem in our country regarding the COVID-19 is escalating due to the poor management of the government in power. They have money. We don't have any contact areas. What do we call it? We have only 2 centers, Kumasi and what do we call Noguchi. They should have used that money to open other centers in other regions. They haven't done it. Contact tracing, they have given it to their party people and they are reaping money from it. They are not doing the job well. Have you seen it? So they have constantly.
Say, what fire? Akpesia.
It's bringing what?
Akpesia.
A lot of death in our country.
Yeah, I think that's a very great presentation and very emotional and touching presentation by our guest, Wafayao. General Lamin. I come here, but no one see a good son. Send you I think Professor Jampo or can send me say the ECNC in the first phase. No, they've registered almost about 2 million in the first phase, and because Ghana is a developing country, the citizens, they are not really well informed. December could be a country on the beto tribunal. Na and no. So talking about the high school cases like KNUST senior high school case about a guy who passed away. So situation so Accra girls some parents went to the school say some of the students they've contracted the COVID-19 at calendar say we have almost about 13 students they've contracted it, and I think say there's one teacher and the wife and also more are contracted. And remember say say now 13 people why mo in your contact. And you know, me pacho, the ball is in your court. I'll spend 10 minutes, so you also take 10 minutes.
Also, and then our listeners and viewers, we just thank you for watching us and then listening to whatever discourse and discussions we are having so far as Ghana is concerned. And then secondly, with COVID-19, I will say that we have abysmally failed as a country, because you take New York and our United States. United States. We know what COVID-19 had done. People are not following all the protocol and then research that had been shown that everybody must abide by it. When Corona ebedu Ghana, almost everybody was happy when Nana said everybody should stay at home for 14 to quarantine, or in other words, to keep ourselves stay at home so that the virus will die a natural death. Vis-a-vis the money that was borrowed from international banks and organizations, and vis-a-vis the management that is going on in Ghana today, trust me, I think that the government has failed. So because a government now, the government consists of you and me and the one who is leading us at the moment. So I don't want people to misconstrue I'm saying it's the fault of MPP. Because if you define government includes me and you. Because if the government said, let's follow the protocol, and you don't follow, you are part of the government. So if the government said everybody should stay at home for 2 weeks, here we have stayed for 3 months, and we've been able to curb the curve. Yet me, I am and asama Professor Jampo Ekayano, it's true. We have Ghana, or more money, and also the bulk of our people are not highly educated. We don't have about 70% of Ghanaians educated. Inti sawu bebo deuro efa yade be ho a. E wo se deuro bona wo bono. Bono wo twimu, wo bono fantimu, na bono wa hausam, na bono wa ngunam, na manu tasa na pete. Na saka adia obey no deuro na obono. Petema efa be bia.
But all your discrimination one can
no they gan so afam. And after say you should dramatize it. Un say todo bia so obi nti bibia say na say dramatize ya de na. Yichire ana drama na e kire no ade abetimi ahano a. He absorbs the information. But me no toy. I said it the first time I'm about my program said this COVID, if we don't take time, it will go beyond our reach. Now it is beyond 25,000 cases confirmed.
Because talking about single day and you
that's what I'm saying.
Almost about 800, you're recording about 900.
That's right. That's what I'm saying.
It's very serious.
Yes. So let's use the international examples that countries have used, states have used. Look at ourselves as an example. In the United States, about 38 states are now have spiked COVID cases.
Yeah.
In New York, we are 0. On Friday, it was 0 positive cases. Why? Because we stayed at home. We were able to, we've been given the vitamins and whatever to take.
Though it's not 100%. It's not 100%.
It's not 100%.
At least by majority.
Say New York, I'm not say one fat your friends a mask and show them. You can say what about them?
Yeah.
Yes, because we keep the protocol. Obi ba, we make sure say you keep a distance. Because I don't know, research has proven that if somebody sneezes, one person sneezes, he emits 200 million pieces of coronaviruses, which is enough if you stand in front of Kumasi market, central market, and one person sneezes with coronavirus, the whole of Kumasi can get affected. This is how serious it is. But your friend say, oh, I didn't know, because we didn't want anything. What fan say is nothing. But mind you, the whole education minister, when you're corona,
yeah,
Osafomafo wa quarantine. Supreme Court oma quarantine. Say almost say omo kotena fie for saying 2 weeks and say no maba. Why? What if you are Jenny? omo nim de no say omo kwatena se omo nyini kura wo.
But Mr. Lamin, just to interject for 15 seconds, do you think says our Supreme Court way because when they rule the case on the EC and the NDC issue it says in the next 14 days they will give the reasons of their verdict. It's
not. They said it clearly. The news says some of the judges have been exposed.
Not just say
I didn't make a say nipa ba ko timi 200 million viruses. 200 million nipa ba ko betime fu.
Yeah.
What would I be telling? So 200 million, that is the latest research. Inti sa wo wuti we na sa wo wan fa anya dwuma. Na wo no what why? Now let's link it to EC. The medical guys who are helping Ghanaians, 779 are not well.
Yeah.
And my president of the Ghana Medical Association is come out. These are the frontliners. These are legal minds. In other words, those who understand science. Wahum. Inti sa mo mbebe kase sa de yi enhu a na wo se wonye ntumu a. What is wrong with you? One, won't provide a PPE for them. No ma mo de be adwuma no. One provide am mo. And na Ghana for kra mo ho no. Ade no one chire omu gise de bia wo sori a no say and then what be my announcement. The second day, what be my announcement. Ade na ekosoro. Sa ade na ekosoro a kan hu sa ade a wo ye no. Emmo it's not working. So you should ask people to stay at home because the best option to control COVID is staying at home because yare no nipa ne mane eden ekochire. The virus works with the humans. The means of spreading is by the human contact. Inti sa wono making sure that you protected the people. Everybody stays home for 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, you have collected the money for God's sake. You have collected trillions. The calculation effort did here. Trillions. How many Ghanaians have gotten stimulus to stay at home because of COVID? This is a question to all the journalists and all the political guys. How many Ghanaians? What is ka na wakwape nipa ba be wache no abaget to no de amanipa? What are you talking about? And na sika na wo kwaje ye no say me no wotena ho na say multiply you divide by 30 million Ghanaians. Almost everybody will get something to survive. But you are not doing it. So when you're sad, you are not providing all the necessary material.
Say your listeners say the money that was given to the government.
Yes.
And I say, or more Ghana, those businesses that is supported.
IMF, $1 billion. Hold on a minute, friends. One Kwajiska, much another 100 million. And institutions in Ghana themselves, corporate bodies, contributed.
Oh, they all contributed.
Yes,
money.
Contributed. Wow. Because I don't know. Also, the whole country is in a lockdown. It will affect your business. So the best option is people should follow the COVID protocol. The EC, in cohort with the government, and then the Supreme Court decided to do this. They don't care about the human life. Yeah. They don't care. For me, somebody who is observing what is going on, also, for me, they don't care.
But the Supreme Court no can say the EC can go out with a CI 126.
Oh, it's CI ultimate prevent corona. Can CI prevent corona? Can the CI prevent corona?
No.
It's no. And people are getting infected. My mother is there, your mother is there, my daughter is there, my siblings, everybody is there. And I took it here.
Yeah.
Hey, Masa, Nana Krase wa quarantine. The president himself. One Kasakurase wa quarantine.
I think that we're not making mistake. I was
also that but the last statement I can say just 1 minute. Ghana for Samuti and Corona is real. Corona na me catch and ya tell him ya bomb mask in a bedroom so you spray and just like you sanitizer a bohanom ye na ya pepa ya ho wo hia me de bibia be bomanim adenti ye pese mo hu sa ade na aye real nipa me nim so mawu a me ne omo New York hanom there are more than 30 in my community. More than 30 when this thing happened. Inti your friends say ye mu bi be catch am say Corona real can who say real and I made 2 million zongo for mu efo say we hwe Kumasi Zongo last 2 weeks nipa omu ye be 25 people ene wu ye o soja omu ye omu te benben yo so we wu e wo kan tudua na we wu Alaba na we wu your friends and Roxy na we wu your friends and Kotialan intimu hu say that is corona and now the last time I nya case bi say ye girl bi ye de ne court theater ye de ne court theater no ka say wawu ene be ka say corona ade am person motia say the corona no so wo nye den a wo no opa wo mo if you are not immune
20 seconds.
Yes, if you are not immune, can you say, "Mo amoto Ghana no, mo say corona is real." In the idea also we make sure say you wash your hands enough. You make sure say wear a mask. You make sure say your immune system, your vitamin C, your vitamin D. Aduane a wo bedi ama wa pomudin ayeden no. Edio because abani de emfa no ho because they say no omoko schools, secondary schools on kwada no. Omanya corona schools now.
Yo, me da say. General Mazu.
O soldier.
That's why we can't dynamic review.
O soldier.
General Mazu, and come on, you know, the boys in your court, we're still talking about the COVID-19 and the registration now. Saying also Uhufa, I think there's a presentation by Lamine and Wafayao. Saying also watching AO.
Thank you so much, O soldier. Once again, very grateful for an opportunity to be on Adinkra FM. We are here just to represent our party and to discuss matters that has to project the image of our country, Mother Ghana. Just that I am not too much happy about the acrimonious nature of politics that we often discuss here. Issues like this needs to be addressed without any partisan lens. Or I hope subsequent weeks to come there will be a nice platform where we'll be discussing how the country called Ghana is going to be in better shape. Because yes, politics now every now and then we discuss it. And there's no going to be unanimity between the NDC and MPP when it comes to matters like this. So having established this, I wish to say hello to my MPP members and any other individual who subscribe to the teachings and principle of the Dankwa Buzia Dambo tradition.
Teaching and principles.
Yes. To the Dankwa
Nakano,
Buzia
here.
Tradition. Also,
Yes, sir.
Issues that has to do with COVID-19, like my good friend Wafayao started. There hasn't been a single week that we don't touch on that, because that is an issue that is eaten into the fabric of not only Ghana but the entire world. It has put in the economy of Ghana, of the entire world, into a disequilibrium. Advanced nations are struggling to come to terms with this. It is not surprising that the World Health Organization, as recent as 3 days ago, came out with a new finding about this disease. It has now graduated from contagious to an airborne disease. So if it is an airborne, it means that the whole world is really in danger. The whole global economy is really in danger. The dangerous nature of COVID has put in one religious injunction, that is the Islamic faith. It is incumbent on all able men who accept Islam to embark on Hajj, which is why you are called Alaji when you go on Hajj. This year, no single Muslim will leave his country to visit Saudi Arabia because of COVID. That tells you how serious, dangerous, and out of order COVID has put in the entire globe. But unfortunately, the way we try to politicize this is what really disturbs me. Listening to my brother Wofayao, he has made a submission that is not entirely different from what their national organizer posited. The national organizer of NDC, just yesterday, I was listening to him when he said it was Akufo-Addo who brought COVID-19 or coronavirus to Ghana. Ofayao said it a couple of weeks ago and he has repeated it. It's very unfortunate. Somebody who has brought a disease to a country since March has not been able to test positive. I don't know how you want people who are listening to you to judge you. And I don't know. It's even better saying that it is Akufo-Addo who has brought or invented the disease called COVID to the whole world. This issue, we will keep on discussing it and we will never come to... Okay. We will keep on discussing it and we will never come to unanimity. The NDC will have its own way of understanding the dynamics and magnitude of COVID, whilst the MPP will equally have its own understanding. But be it as it may, any reasonable person who has experienced this from March up to date should be able to know very well that the disease called COVID has no unique solution. It has not gotten any unique solution. The World Health Organization, as recently as 3 days ago, they have now came out with the finding that says the disease is airborne. So it tells you that there's a lot of things that ought to be known about this disease. But unfortunately, if we try to inject ugly politics into it, we are going to lose the fight against this COVID. Why am I saying this? When this COVID started, the government of Ghana embarked on lockdown. And when they initiated this lockdown to only 2 or 3 regions, the Greater Accra and the Greater Kumasi, and part of a central region, many were those, especially from the political opponent of the NPP, especially their General Secretary, Johnson Asedu Nketia. He is noted to have said that the president was embarking on the lockdown because he wanted to rig the election. That was March. There has not been any atom or symptoms of election going on. As far as March, Asedu Nketia was making noise, a lot of cacophony, about the fact that the president wants to lock down these two great cities because he wants to rig the election. What has lockdown got to do with rigging an election? Now, we were in it. Gradually, they started easing up some of the restriction. The same Asedu Nketia, together with their communication officer, Sami Jenfi, were reported to have said that the president lifted the lockdown because he wanted to conduct election. My brother Wofayao is saying, as we speak now, when any individual in Ghana poo-poo the measures of government or speak against the measure government is taking to avert this disease, the person will be picked up from his house. I will cede 2 minutes of my time for him to mention only one person who has been picked from his house because he spoke extensively against government. Because he spoke against government regarding COVID. I keep on saying this. We should be doing our politics with decency, decorum, and greater sense of commitment. Politics that has to do with...
It was, let me just make this. That statement I made was referring to...
I'll give you the chance,
okay,
so let
okay.
Manos finish.
Okay.
Mr. Mazun, please, go ahead.
Government.
One money chance.
Oh no, yeah, I have one Zemaka. Send me an man. No. I have no single problem. What you can see that there's a change in my submission.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
And I hope it's going to continue this way. We have a lot of people who are listening to us.
Exactly.
So we should be able to project the image and integrity of this very studio.
Yes.
Now, you cannot make unsubstantiated and scandalous allegation to the effect that when somebody speaks against the government on how measures the government is taking to combat this disease, the person will be picked from his house. I have no problem. I can allow him to mention one person has been picked. Then I have to also. And to me, they are man. So open up. What am I about?
Okay. My 30 seconds. Now I respond.
Okay. What I was saying, maybe you didn't hear my submission well. I said, I was tackling the two. The compilation of the register and the COVID. So that this thing I made was like anybody who speaks against the compilation of register.
It's not about COVID.
No, it's not about COVID.
No, just leave it at okay. No problem. Yeah. No problem. You have made yourself very clear. Now, when we come to registration, probably I will also give you opportunity to mention an individual who has been picked because he spoke against the government of the registration.
Yeah,
there should be decency in our discussion.
Yes,
so, Mr. Osoja, like I was saying, we have a desperate political party which want to capitalize on this disease to score cheap and unmeritorious political point to their advantage. When Wafayao is mentioning the money that was given to Ghana has gone to IMF. I made it very clear the difference between when you go to IMF in a normal situation, the penalties that comes with, and when you go to IMF when an economy is being challenged by something like that. The money we went in for, I made it very clear here, it doesn't come with any conditionality. It's just a free.
Yeah, that's true.
So good. And when that particular money came down here, that week, I gave you a breakdown of what government has done. The stimulus package that the government has given.
You have 2 more minutes.
Okay, the stimulus package that the government of Ghana has given to businessmen, medical officers, and the recruitment that has been done with regard to people who are going to be doing contact tracing. These are all measures that the government of Ghana has adopted. It's unfortunate. Today, as we speak, there are cities in US here that there is an upsurge of this disease. New York may be registering very normal situation, but other states, it is not even getting worse.
But even Como was saying that if we don't put measures in place, it can really...
Let me tell you this. Eritrea is one country that has succeeded to the extent that they manufactured drugs supplying to other countries.
It's not the Ghana type one.
It's not a Ghana type one. Is it Madagascar, right?
Madagascar.
They are now going to go back to lockdown. They are going back to lockdown. So please, let's not try to score unmeritorious political point out of this one. But the government of Ghana, headed by no less a person than Akufo-Addo, has been hailed by world leaders, has been patted on the shoulders on the prudent policy that he has adopted to mitigate this solution. It is here. I was here in New York when I read in New York Times. New York Times reported the ingenuity that Akufo-Addo adopted. Washington Post,
can you wrap it up for
yes,
me?
Has also reported the magnanimity and commitment level of the president of Ghana. The Daily Times of UK. I was just here when I was listening to that. So if we have people who, out of political jealousy, out of desperation to get political power, are injecting ugly politics into this by scoring. I'm even wondering whether Wafayao might not, at the end of the day, score the government zero on the way the government is tackling this situation. All in all, also, the government worldwide has done their level, but it is now left with individual who has conscience to know that you have to embark on certain safety protocol. Today, Latif, government can tell you wash your hands. If you fail to wash your hands, what do you expect the government to do? Government can tell you wear your mask. If you fail to wear a mask, what do you expect the government to do? So please.
Okay. That's a very great presentation.
Thank you so
Hello?
much.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, can I ask? Yeah, yes. Can I ask a question? Can I close?
Okay. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Malam Atta. I'm calling from Bronx here.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Yeah, today I would like to praise Honorable Mahazu for his presentation today. He himself said, he changed his tone, so I like it. I love it. The panel are doing good, so I enjoy it. This is my comment.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Also, we didn't hear.
What does he want me to do?
No, he said like he was listening and say you change your tone, so he really congratulates you because your presentation has been very, very wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah. Abdul Latif.
Osuja.
Abdul Latif.
Osuja.
Yo, Abdul Latif. We're still talking about the COVID-19 and registration.
Yeah.
And you remember, say, the EC put certain measures in place, or the government put certain measures in place that with the schools, they will attach a hospital that is very close by or nearby, so that anytime they have an emergency, they can quickly and sharply send that person there. I think it's part of the measures that was put in place. And when you look at what happens at KNUST Senior High School now, it's very shocking. Say things happen this way and like people don't take it serious. Recently, you remember GIJ, our more opinion, when the wife went to, I think, Ridge Hospital and she was dying, people were making it like a joke, laughing. And Kumtacha also says, why say there have been measures put in place for the churches, for the mosque, or the religious body, but the EC have the right to do their registration. It can be 6 hours continuously. And look at what is really going on. The last week we were talking about Ghana Police. Ghana Police has been rated 8th in top 14 countries with the best police in Africa by WISPI, World Internal Security and Police Index. This just by the way. Social measures now, easy put you in now. It was a good measures. As you can see, follow some protocols now. It could have been better. But can you control people? Even 100 people you can't control. So, Jana Latif, what is your take on this, please?
Also, Medasipi, and thank you for this opportunity. And I would like to first express my condolence to my brother, or the family of my brother, which is my schoolmate who died yesterday. He goes by the name Hafiz. May Allah grant him Rama and Jannah. We've all lost a couple of relatives. May Almighty Allah grant Jannah, and may their soul rest in peace. Also,
because of
Also, on the issue of COVID-19 or coronavirus, what I would say is our poor maintenance culture has reflected in the management of the whole pandemic.
Poor maintenance culture.
We all know how the last minute sort of approach that we attach to management. In the case of Ghana, we'll always wait till it becomes obviously clear that we need to do something. I would say, though initially there was the move to embark on a partial lockdown at some point in time, people started complaining. I felt, looking at how severe the pandemic was, it was proper for the government to continue with the lockdown, even though it came out with some economic challenges. You can't always win. That is what we were expected to be told, that despite the economic challenges, safety first. Just as the president indicated, it wasn't easy to bring back life, but it was much easier to help improve the economy. But at the end of the day, pressures came in from all angles, even some from other political opponents. So the leadership or the president had no other option than to succumb to that pressure and release or lifted the lockdown. My worry has to do with the idea of the compilation of the new voters register. What I was expecting from a national point of view, despite the concern that was meted out or that was registered by the sitting administration even before they are coming into office. We all know the MPP had legitimate concern or had expressed their concern about how bloated the whole register was. That was proud to even them winning the power. I was expecting them to consider the consequences of going about with the registration or compilation of a new voter register. As we speak, that wasn't taken or wasn't considered. And along the line, we saw how most top executive or top members of the government, like Mr. Carlos Ahinkra, went about not respecting the protocol, and to the extent that a colleague or a member of his own campaign team lost his life or her life. At least a person lost their life. So in the nutshell, what we're supposed to do is make sure the information was well said or carried out, just as my brother made mention. Most people still feel the COVID-19 is not real. It is real. It is real. Others are even looking at it from spiritual point of view. Yeah. This is science.
This is science and
this
practical.
Is science and practical. This is not religious affair. Once you get infested with the disease, my man, you can go to Mount Everest.
Don't joke.
You not survive it. So don't even expose yourself. Yes. But unfortunately, like I did mention, whilst we are intensifying the campaign at grassroots, people who are supposed to know better, like Mr. Carlos Ahinkra, behave otherwise. Then you begin to ask who is leading who. Under normal circumstance, they're supposed to know better. Then send a message so that the people could also listen to them. But unfortunately, we're doing it in a different way.
He just said, I give Nana that credit. He saw that he's been exposed. And he announced, said, I have been exposed, please, Ghanaians. The president, for this, I give him the credit. He realized that he's been exposed. For that matter, he announced it and decided to stay at home. And then secondly, what Maazu said is, look, what my brother said here said, Nana didn't bring corona to Ghana. That's why they said pandemic. Anything that is at the stage of pandemic means it's global. So we can say that it is during the regime of Nana that we had, coronavirus pandemic. During Mahama, we had Ebola. So please, let's be very careful with our choice. Okay.
What?
Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Can you hear him?
Oh, we can hear him.
There were two submissions.
Hold on 1 second.
Let's be very careful with our choice.
Hello. Okay. Wait, no. But give me 5 minutes, and I think they cannot hear you. So give me 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hold on. Uncle said bus studio move direct.
Yeah. Okay, but also.
Let it feel.
Yeah. Also, so on this very issue, on the issue of the management of the pandemic or the coronavirus, I would say we've all failed to do our part. We can't just blame the government for not handling it well, because most of the people who also ended up contracting the virus failed to adhere and respect the protocols. The only aspect that I have problem with the government is the provision of logistics, because when you start hearing over 779 medical officers or practitioners or workers are having or have contracted the disease, then it sounds alarming. The question is, if they are to go for isolation, then how do we keep the virus? Probably
that's the argument the president of GMA made.
Yeah,
he said if we cannot
become
protect
serious,
ourselves,
because if they are to go on isolation,
Mr. Latif, we are here, and all of us here are in US, and we are in New York. At the peak of Corona in New York here, you can recall the number of health personnel who lost their lives.
Oh, for that one,
and it isn't that the government of US didn't put up safety measures. I read how Damboche contracted that particular disease.
Damboche,
the former secretary of Latif, to your surprise, this was an individual who said, to the extent that his own paper, stationery, he has to spread them. All right. Give papers hand sanitizer. Spread alcohol every part of his office. But at the end of the day, he got it. You understand?
He admitted himself.
Yes, you are here.
He did all the protocol.
You are here. You see, the mere fact that we haven't seen some of or we've not been hospitalized on this particular virus is because we've not gone for testing.
That's right.
In our community, New York, the Zongo community we live. Latif, can you recall the people who have shown or exhibited symptoms of corona? There are many. Whether you like it or not, you've shown some element of symptoms of corona in you. Lamina has shown, Gofaya has shown. I am still battling with similar symptoms. But the fact is that, like you said, government can do.
Please leave your message and number.
Oh, okay. You got it.
Is it coming? Okay. Yeah. Government can do its own work, but if the individual citizens fail to adhere to certain safety protocol, there's nothing government can do. And this government is not about the government of MPP. It's not about the government of PNC. It's not about the government of John Dramani Mahama. Anybody can fall victim of that. What we only need to do is to Latif continue praying.
What fire?
Even though no, yeah, the Latif time.
It's out of his.
So what we are now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, back to the discussion. So what I would say is, now we need to strengthen the approach, which is make sure our health centers or the medical team is well equipped in terms of logistics, and we need to also make sure the campaign is gone deep or down so that people will really appreciate the need to respect the protocols. On the issue of the compilation of the register, like I did say earlier, or I said earlier, I wasn't in support based on the pandemic, and most people, even civil society groups like Imani, ASEPE, and the rest, had also registered their displeasure on the notion that it was going to be an avenue for the disease to spread. And obviously, even if it's not the cause of the compilation, once the figures are rising, you can't question their earlier submission,
even their motives.
And their motives. So what we're trying to do is, we all need to learn from this, and in subsequent times, be it MPP or NDC that is in power.
We get the 1 minute count.
Yeah, be it NDC or MPP that is in power. When there's issue of this sort, let's prioritize the national interest. And I think in the case of national interest, we could have gone with, or we could have supported the idea of the existing register so that more people wouldn't be exposed. If you look at the way people are misbehaving, I call it misbehaving, at the various registration centers, to the extent that others is being alleged have been bust. Imagine you bust somebody without even knowing his status. to a different registration centers.
Also,
these are all
there's one
issues of concern that needs
we
to
haven't done justice to one thing to the government, which is about recovery. We have been, chastising the government of the number of COVID that has been happening. If you look at the global tracking system, now Ghana has about 23,834 confirmed cases, and then has 135 deaths, and the recoveries it has 19,212. So which means the recovery.
Hello.
Okay, we have some.
Hello, God.
Yes.
I think this is not making sense now of Benjamin.
Can you hear him now?
Yes, we can.
Okay. All right. You have your name and where you're calling from, please.
My name is Kwamnenyama. I'm calling from the phone.
Okay. Can you turn down your radio a little bit?
Yeah, I just did that.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Go ahead with your submission, please.
Okay, the submission, one of them, Ghana, one of our major problems is the issue of blame game. Anytime that an issue comes up, like within the country, NDC or MPP will stand on the opposite side of government. Whether being NDC or MPP, let me use both sides of the coin. Will always stand on the opposite side of the coin. And so there are more people entity like the populace entity responsibility for their actions and inaction. We share initially lockdown by the political parties also to the opposite side as well. And then when the lockdown was lifted, it was the same thing. Then another issue also came up. And much is here now, people are not taking the COVID serious. Because if people were taking the COVID serious, probably their numbers but people are blaming government, and instead of them to take full responsibility of their actions and inaction, they are not doing it. And right now, the ministers are getting it, a lot of people are getting it, and the numbers are not getting any better in any way because people think that and other reasons, which to me is neither here nor there. Now the second thing is that I'm not for the schools, close schools. I disagree with them. They tell me they disagree with them. Honorable Minister, Education Minister, and he made a very good point. Ghana, you must sign that student, you must sign a bit to make you must fear better than the school. You must sign a bit to make you see you're better than the various schools now, be it all the schools, Agri Memorial, Temple College, all the schools, even in our schools are in the remote villages and actually remote towns and villages. Mr. Your school system now is way better than our various houses. Now I'm not saying that the whole population, but most of us, we should do our best school, how no money the paper, how no money the papa, how na young man in from uncle the Jumabi, on your baby, and you move the Kufia. We are very much at risk even in our various homes. And then another thing is that the party contact tracing in the schools it is very easy to do it. For instance, every school with a perfectly. I'm using perfectly because that is where I want. Let's say nipa about 200 in the school. Now you must say nipa way. How easy will it be for us to do contact tracing? I think it's very easy. In the same school there, mama may advocate abandoning close schools because I have one most of our population and many people in the do home cook to many that is the whole truth. And the woman, be cook to many mama may advocate be it NDC, be it any political mama may advocate abandoning close schools and be better of a big said you'll be free because of this thing. I don't know school mom, they have better medical care. You have meditation. You might just be at our school when they are in the course of Yarena. To me, I think that they were managed, and it's very easy for them to take care of these people compared to say I didn't find a call. If he may better book of the idea, they didn't go if he not other conference in the job. I'm Mr. Look at the interest of the country at large, not individual interest. And yes, you couldn't consider Yarena should be and let people take responsibility. People should stop blaming the government. Fine. There are other things the government has done wrong, which to me I agree. Because the government has not taken some of these precautions on individual level. very well. To lambast the government for that. But the other things people should take full responsibility of. At the end of the day,
Amen. Also, David, as some are making Yenya Abe Bosom, because me can say, because a government now, Yen Jensen and now Kufado. Indeed, I was saying, just 1 second. I was saying Ghana 40 years. Yes, it's because a government now. Because a government. It's not Nana Kufado. It's you and Nana and the plebeians. I mean Ghanaians. Mona moya government no. Inti sa government dia enshisha bi ba na sa wo wani so a na sa wo kofom na sa yare bi koto a wo kokasa Nana to some extent no. You are not right.
Mama Wafaya and respond to caller no.
I disagree with what he was saying completely. Said to the extent say nkwara ko school na umbenya aduane adi ni ade it doesn't come in. It does what he's saying doesn't come in over here. Nkwara no mu ofia they really parents feed them. What they are saying, and you can't tell me say when the children are in school what is he trying to say?
5 minutes
okay, yeah, me responding to that. Thank you.
5 minutes.
Obi uwoba ewo fear. Are you telling me say obenya corona wo fear che oko school mu a? Yo, okay. Are you telling me what he's saying? Oko school mu a onya corona wo fear obenya corona che oko school mu. Look at it. What is he trying to say? Look at crowd girls and the schools. The school there is crowded over there. A crowd wo akwesa wonya nkoko. What brings pegging overcrowding and bring further pegging and this thing, right? Cannibalism and further pegging because of overcrowding. The same thing as was school also. So what he's saying doesn't come in at all. He's only trying to support the government by saying what the what do you call it? The education minister now said. Do you know why? They want them to go there. They have started making registration for them at the school. That is the brain behind for asking the children to go to school. Kenya have stopped their students not to go. But these people want the senior high school student to go there so that they can do mass.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, this is
my name is Adinkra. I want to make a contribution in your program.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Okay. My contribution is about the COVID-19 and the registration and other matters. The issue is that anything that is of interest. Let me put it this way. Socrates will argue that whatever is just is whatever is in the interest of the ruling class. When you look at it, anything that the politicians think it is in their own interest, they forget about the precautions that needed to be taken. When it got to the national card registration, they allowed it. When it got to the electoral, the ID card, the registration, they allowed it because it is in their interest. But when it comes to certain things, they make it look like they stop churches from going about there. Yeah, they stop churches from taking part, and also they restricted funerals. But then why is it that they are allowing registration and other things which can spread the disease? Because it is in their interest,
Mr. Koti,
and not in the interest of the individual.
Mr. Koti,
hello.
We're having some echo. So if you can reduce your radio or television.
Okay, let me shift. I'm saying that when you look at what is happening, it's like there's a hypocrisy on the part of the government, and this boils down to the fact that anything that is of their interest, they forget about COVID-19. But everybody knew very well that in this registration, people will mass out and there will be spread of this disease. But because it is of interest to them, they will make sure that they persecute their interest. When it comes to churches, when it comes to funerals, when it comes to festivals, they are able to put in prohibition that those things will spread the disease, and they are able to stop it. But when it comes to things that it's of interest
to them, they forget about it. So it's like they face hypocrisy with the whole thing. When it's for my interest as a politician, fine, let's go ahead. But when it's for the other individual that doesn't affect me, or that I don't benefit from it, I don't do anything about it. I restrict it. So on one hand, you wouldn't be saying that the individual, the challenge lies on the individual to take the necessary precaution. Yet you are defeating the same aim by opening the doors for people to mass out. Look at where they were sharing the food. People were just massing out and spreading the disease. When it came to the national registration, people were also massing out. When it came to this same voter registration, so what is the essence in saying that you are trying to combat the disease? Why you open doors? Because it's for your own interest. So I think there's hypocrisy on the part of government, because whenever it benefits them, they forget about, we need to put in precautions. But whenever it doesn't benefit them, they put in precautions. Thank you.
Thank you. And one sec, Mr. Akoti.
Hello.
Happy birthday to you also.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
He was also, a prisons officer, senior prisons officer, and he's now, security personnel also here in New York. Thank you very much for your contribution.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you for.
Auntie, thank you. Send a Mr. T and a woman. Auntie, send a no cano. It's a yano cre. So I call go school ma and no nya corona or few more benya is a yano cre. Swear they want, as soon as they ask them to go, no, mass registration for them in the schools in the interest of the government. So you see, this government, they don't think about the life of the people. So what they are saying, Kenya, all the schools are closed down. Exams, we know it is very important for the kids to write their exam, but looking at the situation, we can suspend it and let them take it next year. So what they are saying, the life of the children is suffering.
This is Adinkra Radio.
Yeah, me pacho, make me a bamoline as a crack.
Pacho, you.
Me pacho, your friend, me sweet mother one. Hello,
dear. That dear Kasayet you.
You, me pacho,
Pacho yet you.
Yetiawo kasa.
People mature. Obi ba line so. Obi ba line so be ka say enkwala no e wo school mu a omo ye save. Enkwala no wo school mu a omo ye save. Yeah, the line so hello. Yeah, the patrol obi ba line so be ka say enkwala no wo school mu a omo ye save. Omo wo school mu omo ye save. Well, e dey stress say bit afache o ka say school mu crampo e ye save say obi fie. Me pamocho share e bi ni Accra girls for the ye see you. And now or they say number 2. Akwala ni bi wo ho a afache omo wo ti say obi wo ha wo asthma. Obi wo nso so a owo yare bi wo no diabetes ni ade. It is so school mu no konya yare ni bia. Obi so obe no ebetimi anya bi. Wahu it's media can nko amadwen kakra madwen dia ka yesese aban no on close to school no man kwala no na mo be ye exams no omo nfie ade wo fie edru bre a omo ba koye exams na omako wahu inti sabita fache yesese mo so mo kamwa na se de kwala no so betimi atena fie wahu my back on Ekasai, many be yard then, me refinidino, na my busy cacquainty man trinidino. Oka say, Omuntinefie, other countries, state be another baby, a more close home school. No, well, it's in yes, let's say, a bino, a my mano be atmosphere, said the ya, Tapache, almost on fire, really be ember, share this is a babako every girl. We say of course to abefie why because makoyare adem ya manant na fie ya manant na school say e bia omo was very good doctors wo school nti omo ntina ya bana papa ne ma ga beta no it is for bana se be god forbid e ya yare ni bia so the betra omo so ewo bi ewo fie
yeah
It's the Pamucho. Mr. Soma drink a crab and watch red.
Thank you so much for your great presentation.
You're welcome.
Yo, and you know, I think on Facebook, so no, yeah, Seydou Musa Bamba. I say, how can you say we shouldn't politicize issues of COVID-19 when political decisions are causing the escalation of the situation? What is this man saying? It's lying. Nobody praised Akufo-Addo.
I'm even coming there.
The World Health Organization is now saying Ghana case is likely to increase.
Yeah.
That's what's from me.
Yeah. Thank you. Guy now offers is here. Come as mami. Asema kind one have obian praise Akufo-Addo bia wo kwan bia so as he's saying. And if you look at the whole thing, you see about the botechino, yeah the boba, right? When Ebola airbano, Akufo-Addo can so warn Mahama. So making sure say Ebola be and Ghana cool bia. Okay, he gave him that this thing. COVID-19 is over. Also now you're president. What do you say? And a whole time umpono. A unit time but the entire son of the buy. We are right to say that. What do you say? Sometimes no sa call it toy in Europe. A cough say fanfare no mu call you coaching ya and all the Norwegian man the buy. Norwegian ambassador no so the case in the buy. What do you say? And they were the same entourage that came in. The president and his entourage and those they were with the same man in Europe. What do you say? The time you not spread to Europe, no? Why were you traveling to Europe again? That time they were calling, asking you, say if you want really to prevent your people, prevent the thing from coming to your country. That is the time you should have called for a lockdown. Your borders in Nane so close. That was time that UMS was saying. What do you say? It didn't become no one yet. Nasa tira inaba yem for subo number one. Are you getting it? So we are right. The president didn't take any measures at all. There is no measure that the president.
Sorry, when you sure say sir, talking about this COVID-19, it took the entire world.
It took the entire world by that time. Name by a country until you could have taken measures. Yeah, that is why they also people with expertise like that UMLs can several times close the borders. What do you say? Close the borders. To shut down the disease from coming into your country.
Yeah, okay.
What do you say?
But don't you think there's a new prediction?
Okay. A prediction Amakacho said the man is not just an ordinary man, he's a medical doctor.
No, but you say medical doctors at the same time, more committee. Committee as individual. As individual. I understand you, my mentor.
Your friends offer your air canal. Untimi nkasa Nana Akufo-Addo na de corona.
Me say we have the argument, we can back it. We can back it. It is through the president.
And he was the last time we had your friend said he was negative.
We have the right to say
before
that.
He even decided to.
No, it doesn't mean say Saudi. You have this thing. We have the right to say. And then I make Omuna. Keta my discover first case. Now 2 weeks later and sana ye calling for lockdown. Tie. As also listen to us very well. Tata my discover case in na. Do you know say na flight about my numu? Flight were coming in and we have borders. Our borders are open to other countries. We have been surrounded by and people were coming in. This is what we are saying. So what we are saying makes sense.
Don't disagree with him.
You can't disagree.
In Nigeria,
in Ghana, no. Let me finish. Who give me time?
And Italian. Because what you are saying is not true.
No, it is true. It is true. She is the one who brought it. It is not in Ghana. Even a small child can tell you. You don't agree, but
I'm telling you a fact.
In Ghana, instances
the 27th of March, a man from Italy infected.
Are you taking my time? Are you taking my
corona? That is how corona came to Nigeria. So you can't tell me the president of Ghana went to Europe because of that he brought corona.
That is what I'm telling you. I'm giving you no instances. You discover first case in time when they make it lockdown.
And who
why? Don't you think that when you are in leadership position, right? And something happens among your subordinates now, you are, you know.
Also, that I said it here.
All the time, because I have a lot of.
You can't even be on 5 minutes.
No.
You can't be on 5 minutes like that. Also, that.
Ali,
hold on a minute.
You know more time and more time.
You are interjecting.
Let me just say a practical example.
Yes.
Say, Juma, now we are manager and also a supervisor. Okay, now say assembly C or subordinate in more.
Yes.
Who is held, responsible?
Also, that. Asama Akoi can was saying that the corona bag.
We are right. We are done with that.
Oh, let me.
NDC for a say. What the moon can say? So okay, I say a you
China work
conference.
China work.
Please. No. Let me finish my this and then you come in.
Finish where?
Wait, I can't wait 30 seconds.
Give me 30 seconds. Oh, I have things. Once I did time now. We are raising them because right.
Oh yeah, I say we know Mazu.
I am raising them. Maybe I say me. I live a veggie time.
What for your time is not on patch up. Whatever, 1 minute. Why?
1 minute saying, man, in some work you can try IMF now. Listen, why? Listen, IMF, IMF. Whether you are going to pay or nothing, it is still IMF. You went for loan. Or what you say? And there shouldn't be their IMF shouldn't be different from ours. That's why you keep on saying IMF. Once you go to IMF, it is IMF. You are going for money. Mostly you were a boss economy. Why were you going to IMF again? We went for IMF here and you say conditionality. Whether you have once you have been there, you are going for money. Who will scan Meboa? Now let's look at the other side. Share the whole situation. The reason why I'm saying is and look at the way they are managing it too. And in this pandemic, what they are very real. Prevention is what? Better than what? To cure. This is what I keep on saying. Who preventing ya? And you have to know Messiah Riano. Mr. Ali, what you
what I'm asking about?
30 seconds. Okay. Mr. Ali. Our main this thing is that if you could have prevented it, you won't go around now to cure it.
You're right.
Medical doctor too for
if you say this,
yes.
If you said it, if you put it in this perspective,
I've said it before. Mr. Ali, I've said it before. And the prevention is better than to cure. One prevention.
General Mazu, respond to mommy. Yeah, what I can say, what I respond to what's
I have nothing to respond to.
Okay, so
the bottom line is that Ghanaians all over or wherever you find yourself as a Ghanaian, you just have to pray that the people of our country should be extricated from this disease. Those of us who are even here are not immune to that. It has shaken the foundation of the world. The German Chancellor once went on quarantine. We've heard Boris Johnson, UK President, has gone. Kumo's brothers have gone. Iran, their foreign minister has passed away. A lot of world leaders have fallen to this disease. So, if even it is JM who is leading the country called Ghana at these trying times, I wouldn't sit here and then point accusing fingers at him for importing the disease elsewhere and bringing into the people of Ghana. What you need as a reasonable person to know is that, granted that it is he who has brought the disease, the president has come with the disease from elsewhere. Between March up to this, medical experts have been able to tell us that the sickness can stay with you within a period of only 2 weeks, 14 days. Then it will start to manifest. From February, we are in March.
July.
From March, we are in July.
We recorded the first case on March 13th.
Very good. Mr. Osoja, the government went wherever he went to with an entourage. No single member of his entourage from that march to date, until just recently that we've started hearing some government appointees in the likes of Osafo Mafo and the president himself, who has suspected one member of his entourage is positive. So he went in isolation. What I'm trying to say here is,
but I know there's difference between isolation and quarantine.
I've not mixed up the two. I'm very careful about my selection of my words. Yes. So he went. I'm using what the president went on. So what I want us to do as a people is that we are in trying times. This is not a time for us to inject ugly politics into that.
We're trying to find amicable solutions.
Let's pray that everybody will be safe and secure with this disease.
Right.
It is not a disease that people should be taking funny of.
Yeah, it's serious.
Today in Ghana,
yeah.
Mr. Osoja, for all you know, we have political parties. Both NDC and MPP are guilty of this.
Yeah.
And that is not going to send our country anywhere. You have ardent and fanatic supporters of political party who are praying for their opponent to get infested. We have members of NPP, my own party, who are questioning why is it that members of NDC are not getting the disease. We have members of NDC who are praying that the president Wachontro, he has been airlifted to England for disease, for treatment. So you see, in as much as you want your political party to win, the best thing you can do is to articulate the policy, alternative policy programs that will inure into your benefit. But when you continue to pray for bad omen against your opponent, remember, you are not going to get what the person is having. Simply because
now you are trying to prophesize.
Be careful
simply
what you wish
because
to people.
Prophetic.
No. I mean, this is just a simple thing. Simply because I don't subscribe to the principles and teachings of the social democracy, that is the NDC, doesn't mean that I should be praying against John Dramani Mahama.
Nobody is praying against
No.
you people.
Please. It doesn't. That is not how we do politics. I should not be praying for bad omen to befall on John Dramani Mahama. What I have to do is that the policy that John brought, and they are not inuring into the benefit of the people of Ghana, that is where I have to poo-poo. That is where I have to criticize. That is where I have to speak vociferously against. But to the extent that I wish John Mahama should be sick, hell no. When he gets sick, what do we get? When member of NDC falls sick out of corona, what do I get? There's nothing that will profit me. When the president catches corona, he's not the first president in the world to get that disease. Boris Johnson has done all what he could. Angela Merkel has done all what she could. But you see, well, I do understand people. They are doing that simply because they want to score cheap political points. Whether that thing will inure into their benefit. So for me, COVID is above partisan. COVID-19 is above politics. It is above ethnicities. It is above religion. Wherever you are, if the president gives directives that we should go and do registration, and you feel that he is subjecting your life to danger, is he going to pull you from your house to the registration center? Decline not to go. If I'm in Ghana, I wouldn't allow my wife, my children, my siblings to go to the registration center. If I believe that is going to endanger them, why do I have to do that? Latif, today, any place you are going in New York here, before you enter into your workplace, they have to take your temperature. Write it down, ask you series of questions, whether you are experiencing.
There's somebody on the line.
Hello. It's Malamata again. I came again. I'm asking question. Only one question.
Okay,
go ahead, please. You have 1 minute, please.
Okay, to the panels, all of them. Abdulatif, do you think we shall have free and fair election in this time? Because we have only one Ghana. We don't want vigilante. Do you think? I just asked them. I asked them.
Okay.
They don't think we'll have free and fair election this time? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for. Can I respond to?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
1 minute.
Yeah. Thank you for the call. And
Because I don't want to.
we really appreciate the question, or that shows that people are following what we're doing. On the issue of whether we'll be having a free and fair election, it's too early to draw conclusion that just because the government in power is supporting the idea of a new voter register, it's most likely that there wouldn't be transparent election, because the election wouldn't be supervised by just the electoral commissioner. There will be other foreign observers who will also be monitoring the figures. So I don't think it will be proper, or on no account will the government of the day massage the figures to favor to favor him. So what I would say is, anybody who feels otherwise about the possibility of government massaging the figures should dissociate his or himself from it. What the parties have to be doing is, you need to intensify educating your people on why they should be voting for you. I think that would be much proper than emphasizing on the idea of lack of free and fair election. Because at the end of the day, it wouldn't be supervised by just Madam Jane Mensah. Yeah, there will be other observers to do cross-checking, and we have a vibrant media house that will help us to achieve that goal. That is what I have to say.
Also, the answer to the question.
Let him answer. No,
yeah. Also, it may be free and fair or not. What Latif is saying, I'm not debunking what he just said, but look at the conditions. This is a situation that you have an electoral commissioner where stakeholders, everybody comes to say, look, this is the situation in which we are, and she doesn't listen. So what shows that if at the end of the day something happens and she comes to say something different? Because you don't even listen to the political party that is with you, inter-party meeting that they do. Just the day before yesterday that they went for a meeting, and then they told them they are going to register kids in secondary schools. And the party said, look, there's not any gazetted there's not any gazetted constituency in the secondary schools.
Yeah.
So if you do that, you are going even against the same rules that you have put there. You see the whole thing. So that is making one of our sheikhs to call here and ask the question whether we think that December 7 is going to be free and fair.
So just to interject quickly, so you could see that this is not about the government.
No, it's not.
I'm coming. So the Electoral Commission is a body of its own.
Of
Am
course.
I right or wrong?
The Electoral Commission is dancing as if she's dancing to the tune of the government's.
Yeah, I understand you. But what I'm saying, if there's the need for us to blame, we have to blame the Electoral Commission, because even the CI 91 or the CI 126 that was presented to Parliament, that it matured, this was not included in it. Like you say, it has not been gazetted. So how can you go to like a high school and this case they are living in different neighborhood, different constituencies? If there's anybody to blame, we should blame the Electoral Commission.
And then also the last thing is, all political parties should open their eyes. Make sure that you cross-check your pink sheets. Make sure that your polling agents are well educated to collate the numbers from all the where people are voting, so that at the end of the day, when you do your cumulative counting, it will show if somebody has cheated. Then you have your pink sheet. You remember what happened 2012. That's it.
Also, I just have a few seconds to make this addition. On the issue of this free and fair, you wouldn't blame people who have that notion, just based on the way the EC is going about its own affairs. Left to that, for you to just sit at your home and question the free and fairness of the election, that is also another issue. But we're appealing to the Electoral Commissioner or Electoral Commission, which is an independent body, to go about its daily activities as justifying that they are independent. For instance, had they communicated earlier to various political parties about their intention to register students whilst in school, well accepted, I don't think there would have been any.
But you come at 11th hour.
But 11th hour, I really do agree with you. But what I'm saying, this is not about the government.
No, we're not saying about the Ghana. I'm basing my emphasis on the
emphasis is that one.
Easy.
I didn't buy easy and Kaokano, Kanena. Obi and the Casa de Oka and your friends. On mobile meeting, mobile meeting, no one can send me register on Kadano.
Yeah.
What kind of MPP of what to say? Yajatum. It is a limited China. Medin Samokra na Maya Kanana.
Exactly.
And a mobile Sadiano.
I can't know what you're saying.
I tell one come to
teamed up.
But okay, but wait, no. Wait, on a puzzle, why you present this with them?
So, almost bizarre question.
That's the question.
Yeah,
question.
and they different mass. Me meet you to be at the guy. Go ahead.
Okay, good.
Honorable Mazu.
Yeah,
that I love it.
Let me answer the Malam who called in. You see, we should not start preparing the grounds for a political party to reject election. We shouldn't be doing that. When we say free and fair election, what does it constitute? Article 96 of the Constitution is unambiguous about that. It says, and I quote, any party that feels aggrieved about how elections are conducted can head to court. 2012 wasn't the first time a political party has disputed over the electoral results. In 2004, when Mohammed Momoni was picked as the running mate to Professor Aduba Mills, the election went on. NDC didn't agree with what? They went to court and it was thrown out of the court. So 2012 wasn't the first electoral petition. 2004. Now 2012, MPP didn't agree. They have some grievances with the way the Electoral Commission conducted the election. What did they do? They didn't take arm. They went to court. Listen to their side of the story. 9 judges, 4 went in favor of the MPP. 5 disagree with the MPP. Finally, NDC position was upheld.
Yeah.
Our brother John Dramani Mahama continued as a president. So it is too early in the day to start preparing the ground for a political party to reject election. With respect to the registration that is going on in our secondary school, truly, the CI that established the registration center, CI 91, did not create registration center in schools.
Exactly.
No doubt about that. This is clear argument. NDC has filed the case to Accra High Court. You understand also, Jack? Yeah. Let's listen to what the court is going to say. The CI that established the registration center came out with 33,000 registration centers in Ghana.
That's right.
Excluding those which are in the high school.
Yeah.
Now, if I am going to do politics, the real MPP in me, what will I see? We have group of people calling themselves members of the National Democratic Congress who speak conspicuously against the decision of the Electoral Commission, and that they accuse them for attempting to disenfranchise some people. Today, if the table turns, aren't you also calling or advocating for the high school people to be disenfranchised? Which is why there should be a decorum in the way we are doing our politics. To be honest with you, I like politics so much, but politics of Ghana is getting disinteresting. Because whenever your party goes wrong, or whatever your party does
is correct.
Is correct.
Even if it's
you don't even have the moral courage
to say no.
To say no to certain. If even today you sharply disagree with the stand of your party, viewers who are elsewhere will start calling you laju laju.
On this one, I have a reference to make. On the case of just as you just said, I remember during former President Kufuor's era,
Yeah.
there was a concern that was raised by Haruna Seku.
Yeah, Haruna Seku, former chairman of the party. Yeah.
And it's alleged, based on he questioning the president on
Yes.
certain issues, that was why he lost his post.
You understand?
So
it is also
the
that,
kind
that
of
is
politics that
our
we do.
problem in our country.
Yeah.
Today, when NDC is embarking on policy or program to strengthen the grassroots support of their party, and a member of their own party disagree with it, they will start pointing accusing fingers at him. Likewise, the same thing with the MPP. Today, I know we are shortly coming to go into the running mate of the GM. We have had a lot of people who disagree with the choice. Why have certain key members of the NDC lost their voice from the nomination day to today? It isn't that, they don't like it. Some will say, no, I have my reservation. So allow the person to also think that way.
But wrap up, mommy.
Okay, ask me wrap up. No. Empty also that.
Oh, wrap up on point.
No, Samika. Empty also that. Ghana.
Lamid guy was say.
Ghana. Theo also that. Ghana. We don't have any other country. We have to stand up. When NPP goes against the norms and ethics and the constitution of our country, Masa, I feed myself. The party doesn't pay my bills. The party doesn't pay my bills. I feed myself. I waste my time come here to argue in favor of the party just because I like the party. So what should prevent me from saying it as it is? When my party goes wrong, it is wrong. When my party is right, it's right. When my party goes wrong and I am supporting it, I expect somebody to tell me, Mazu, you got it wrong. This is it. I have conscience to reason.
That's right.
And know that, in fact, indeed, it is Akufo-Addo who brought COVID to Ghana. Convict me beyond reasonable doubt.
That's what I'm saying.
To agree with that. But because of naked desperation for power, I shouldn't say it was John who brought Ebola. It is a global. It started as an epidemic, then matured into pandemic. Today we are all suffering with it. Mr. Latif, cabinet members of Trump are affected. How many times have we seen the members of the Democrats held a press conference chastising or peopling what the current administration is doing? And globally, the person who has failed to handle this pandemic, number one on the world is Trump.
That's right.
But you see, because people are aware that it is beyond politics. Today, when you sit down and listen to the way Trump is addressing things, we who are not even experts will be able to know that he doesn't have what it takes. He doesn't have wherewithal to tackle it.
Just one sentence.
Maybe also I don't know.
Okay.
But your
He has spoken.
No.
About this current is a main kasa yo. Muna mwa kasa ya man. You wanna won't say or bisa me say me ye na me say I've not me na nka me pese me buy na o say wo. If you can remember. I'm not spoken.
Martin J. Mosi omo share on Facebook and amo ye ejuma papa. Nicholas.
Also ja will confirm it.
Nicholas Ajakwa or say great job the panelists. Mami Biso first lady or no so was or say mo boy jumapa I say and there Mazu I calm down pan and or like it. Am I attend the presentation or I say Bebre?
Also, yeah.
Somebody, I'll quickly switch on. I'll switch on to General Lamine.
No, I am coming in. So also
don't do that. You mess up the program.
Okay. Mazu kasawi na obia kasawi na me ba wo
there be man question obi say mo na atasa me kasaye I was about to come in na man dey me answer me
And they became wicked.
No. Let me also respond to that. But
my mom is more than saying because
that's all. No, I answered that already. Then why is it a member of so that a veteran about
control? You know
that is what control by he has answered the same thing.
This is not proper. Oh, he's the host. Let him.
He's the host. Not question here, bisa. Omunyina akwa besi omu so that media meeting.
Me no, I have the prerogative.
I have to speak the
No, you don't have to.
Let me.
No, how?
What am I to pass?
Any question I answer in media then why should he speak and come around and talk again before me?
You say you waste time. What I say? You waste time. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, but we first in 3 minutes.
Also, asema mazu kaya if all Ghanaians are going to take politics like that. Yes, asema mazu kaya if all of us are going to cultivate that mindset, sir, you don't have to be with NDC and to see that NDC is going wrong and you can't even say it. And you don't have to be with MPP and MPP is making a mistake and you can't even say it. We should have the mindset, sir. You can be with MPP, you can be with NDC, but if the party goes wrong, it is wrong. If NDC goes wrong, it is wrong. If NPP goes wrong, it is wrong. This will help Ghana to develop. This is what people practice here. This is the citadel of democracy in United States. Trump gets supporters of him chastising him. So why don't we, those who emulate modern democracy, do the same thing? Inti anka meme de me mafemwa Ghana for omunhu se MPP ba no be catch us say Messi dan, Messi school, Messi say nessa afeno bana se wo beto aba wona o ka say obesi dan ube say
you have to just
yes
vote him out.
Me MPP kura metu
yeah
inti say anya ne sa de bia Ghana entumpon inti me sisu say Ghana for se mutie mi a party bia obeba no where NDC o where MPP o where APC o where CPP. That's right, where Kuyadonko no the catch say Messi schools was obesi schools 200 what you have to move was obesi down what track was obema $1 one constituency where me dey for to who what try to her inti semre no be so say ye beto aba so obakura bisane say esimesi wosi ube say 5 adi o ka say obeye no emu num no say no waye we ni e frɛ no hwababra bom neto aba
akoko da akoko
hwababra bom neto aba so onu akoro no abɛhye wo bɔ sɛ meye say na sɛ bɔntimi anya mienu a wafin but so obɛhye wo bɔ enum na sɛ enum no mo wɔtimi aya miensa ana sɛ miensa ne nefa etimi sɛ papaase so obana sɛ wɔsi wɔbɛyɛ ade enum na sɛ wɔyɛ enum a it means wɔnyɛ 100% no what woman Ghana for mo nso saa de wenhwɛ sɛ yes ade yɛ Ghana ebetum pompa
me da say 2 minutes pepepe what for you into respond ma me 2 minutes
thank you
quickly you best switch yako
man no question no bisa and said there's going to be free and fair umu 2 minutes
say say let me kasa 2 minutes
oh na first round no mu call and say bro sa
over yanko
o soldier me dey me nka hwe o dey man no question no bisa no said there's going to be free and fair me dey wo hwe niema e cost wo man nu I can say no. One, in the first place, share from the day one about the Supreme Court, you know, when him say even my colleague, my co-panelist, Okachire me say, the outcome of that from the lens on kita a legal lens bia, but he knows it. Do you know why? All the MPPs knew about the outcome, what the Supreme Court will bring up, the outcome of the Supreme Court. They knew about it because Kevin Taylor who told us how the Supreme that judgment was going to be, and it came like that. A memo. It was the same. Do you know why? We were expecting say Supreme Court judges, you know, nanka they will shame Kevin Taylor. Nanka oma body pass judgment, you know, akobebi eso omodeto. Anko sinisa. So what you say? Eti judgment, you know, yenya judgment, you know, before 2 weeks before the judgment. But and I nyame nwanwa because Mazu catch them wa say yen tell you say infa na dey be kwa na they knew about it mama more typical example the EC oh meba I'm coming obi abeka they knew I'm telling you what is on the ground they knew about it hwe EC no doesn't know about it asemo de asemo akokota ye kan eni hu asemo ye no one starting now ye will try mass what registration do you know whether the Supreme Court is going to rule against you or not the EC knew that they were going to rule in their favor so what they say it point 1 no so what they say now we niema esi also register look at the number of people that raised against the compilation of new register EC say me dey me ntia say da say demon bi na be she no mo nobody can tell obia onti obia sem da because highly respected people in the country have spoken Kwasi Pratt and Co. Even Kwaku Baku Kro or Sapo, their surrogate is Kwaku Baku. Kwaku Baku, we heard him on tape say, Onyankobe frame Aminaka chance on suspended register near Yusu old one. Haven't you heard about this? It was going around. Yes, let me you please. Until Usha Niamana Ekosuna, what is telling you say there's going to be free and fair? Already they want to manipulate. Say yes, I would register. Easy would register. Please. Yeah, I'm coming. Let me. You will come in, but let me finish my destiny answer. Okay. If you look at what
1 minute.
Oh, they are some near.
Yes,
and maybe if you look at maybe if you look at what is going on, the pandemic here for yare ebe wuni I don't even say when they come out and cure. Omu register omenya yare no. What is still be compiling new register? What is that telling you? And now we had the conversation between the president and the Supreme Court judge, who is also now in quarantine. Justice Enimi Yeboah. 37-minute conversation between how the Supreme Court ruling should go. It's in the public domain. And also Justice Enimi Yeboah so a ruling sa a court tape na yenya no outside, you know, like that. So what is that telling you? So if they are saying, say, let me end it here. The government, as we are saying, the government, the EC, and the Supreme Court, they are in bed. And all that they are doing is telling us that there is not going to be free and fair. But let me tell you, we have said it that at the end of the day, if there is no free and fair election, we shall not accept the result.
NDC has now chosen a running mate by the name Professor Jane Nana Opoku Ajiman. I think that he was once a vice chancellor. She was once a vice chancellor, and she also became the educational minister. We know there have been so many accomplishments when we talk about this woman, and I think that when we talk about women empowerment, there's a need for us to also to be able to differentiate between an achievement. We can always criticize. But I think that sometimes when we get to a point that the rate at which people criticize, Emma, very, very shocking. I was reading a piece by Majority Leader Oseche Mensah Bonsu, and he was describing this wonderful woman as this woman. And if Mama become a president and by mistake he passes away, can this woman become the president, or is this woman capable of becoming a president? You know, English language is flexible. Personally, I've taught for 1 year doing my national service, so it's always about your presentation. So when you use the word this woman as if maybe she don't even deserve it, you have the right to go against the person, like based on the things that she has done, which is really acceptable. But when you use that word, we try to discredit women. And I think that mentality of men, especially African men, discrediting women, I think it needs to cease, and we have to seek for equality. Because back in the days, men work, women stay home, take care of the kids. This modern time, even some women work and the men are rather doing babysitting. So at least, not about this, but you know, in general, we should be able to give total respect to women. Back to the point, now NDC has chosen a running mate. You've been in politics for so many years, and I really, respect your presentation. What do you think about this wonderful woman.
Now, thank you so much, Mr. Osuja. NDC has finally settled on Professor.
I like your smile.
Nana.
I like your smile.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. If only it's not hypocritical.
No, this is natural.
No problem. NDC has finally settled on Professor Nana Opoku Ajiman, a former educational minister under the Mahaman administration.
We don't have too much time, so
Yeah.
we'll do it little by little.
She
so
is
take 5 minutes.
She's a very wonderful woman with an impeccable record of.
Don't steal my word. Then impeccable is my word.
Oh, you didn't use it today. Then you didn't use it today. If it is
Right, I'm
your
sorry.
word,
I'm
you
sorry.
didn't use it today. Okay.
I'm sorry.
She's a very wonderful woman with a great achievement and an impeccable track record of excellent academic credentials. But when it comes to politics, she's next to nothing. MPP as a political party is never in doubt about her inaptitude and incompetency when it comes to politics. Her excellent educational credential is unquestionable. She was, my vice chancellor, even though, it was after we left that she was promoted to that vice chancellor. First female vice chancellor in our part of the country. Very good. The woman, I like her so much. But you see, when the announcement was made about her appointment, I posted something on Facebook. And to be honest with you, I regretted posting it.
I read it.
I regretted posting what I did. And that particular post has attracted more than, a lot of people share that post. I am standing here regretting what I did. Even though I've not written officially, denouncing my stand.
And I know you can do that.
What did I say? I said, and my only problem with the running mate of JM is that, you can.
Hello?
Yeah, hello. This is Kofi.
Yes.
Kofi from the Barbershop. I have the new contribution to the program.
Okay, so because of timings, you have 2 minutes, please.
All right, okay. The other one,
90 seconds.
Okay, because Honorable Mazu, and then I like the way of presenting of power camp. But say, ultimately, Akunya was with a catch from others. It's already MPP for Kasa. It's about time, so you do Emma, you may respect Emma. You to be because of politics in Tina, okay, appoint your ban of PhD. As I said, I want to be, and then I want to be sure I can say, sure by any part or say before. How will you say that?
That's going to be.
People which my brasa or what fact says.
I think I know where and MPP when you want to mean Kwanokai.
They want to be, but it's about time we have to speak up. I say because say Ubi Kokasi, a man Kokai, but it's about time we speak out. What you say? I say, Emma, why wouldn't you see you could Emma before you get to that level? She stress me, frustration me, rapists, and become on some this level. And you'll be an 8 minutes. So it's about time we are calling Emma near your respect you.
Yeah.
From it's no fun to be an almost and no man somewhere.
Thank you.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Yamazu.
Yes,
sorry
no problem. For us in MPP, we really welcome Madam Professor. What we are going to do is that we are going to interrogate her stewardship as not as a professor of a university, but as a politician. Her administration, she was appointed in 2013, up to the time my brother John Mahaman left office. Has she been able to bring on board as a minister for education? That is the subject. That is the subject that ought to be interrogated. But people are doing as if Madam Professor is the first professor in Ghana to run for any political office. In 1992, MPP presented Professor Albert Aduwahine against somebody who is still struggling of his high school certificate. But Rollins beat Albert Aduwahine, a professor in history. And she is not the first woman to be picked as a running mate. Please, NDC should understand this. In 2008, it was abundantly clear and evidential that Akufo-Addo was picking Hajia Aliba Mahama. But when it went round, it realized that, at the dialogue level, we realized that no, because you have to pick somebody who you'll be able to win in his own land. Hajia Aliba Mahama, she's a Mamprosi from my brother's tribe. And we from the northern part of the country, when she goes there to meet the chiefs, it doesn't. So people spoke, and Akufo-Addo withdrew. Members of the NDC themselves kicked against her. But fortunately, JM, that's why I salute him. Yeah, he stuck to his gun and said, this is the lady I want. From her appointment to now, you've not heard any key member of the NDC articulating his pleasure for her appointment, with the exception of Sami, the communication officer.
No, then I think I don't sure, because they have people, even
former financial.
When I say, I don't know whether you've heard of me.
He said displeasure.
No, I didn't say displeasure.
He didn't say displeasure.
I said
nobody has endorsed him. That's what he said.
I've not used endorsement.
Then give us. Let's have the word.
What I said is that from the day she was appointed to date,
from Sami Jamfi,
you've not seen any executive member of the NDC who has expressed happiness about her appointment, with the exception of Sami Jamfi.
That's one. Trust me.
He said it's only Sami Jamfi. Let him continue.
I fold my hand.
Let him continue.
No, please, let's have.
Okay, go ahead.
Listen to my choice of words.
Sami
no
Jamfi.
Executive.
Sami Jamfi, only Sami Jamfi.
Okay.
Sami Jamfi did that because he's the he's the spokesperson of the party national executive. But I will stop here for you to tell me within the NDC executive members who has come to say something.
No, go ahead. I don't want to eat into your time.
You understand what I'm saying?
No, I don't want to eat into your time.
But you see, what I'm telling you is that we're not talking. I'm not saying members of the NDC, executive, national executive council of the party. Apart from Sami Jamfi, Ablakwa doesn't form part of the national executive. Former minister for finance, he was a contender. Unless Mo was I saw what he said.
No, I also
exactly. He's not a member of the executive committee.
Yeah,
this is what I'm talking about.
But no, what is it? What is it so much about just executives?
Oh yes. In the first place, any policy. I don't know whether you are aware. Even though the Constitution of our republic articulates only 21 members, not less than 21 members should be cabinet members, cabinet ministers. You cannot appoint anything above that as a cabinet minister. But general secretary, executive of a national party sit at cabinet meeting. Because when it comes to disseminating government policy, they will be called upon. If you are general secretary, you understand.
So general secretary is it part of the the executive?
Yes.
So you mean
no, show me. I mean, I would just.
No, I have the video, but I'll send it to you.
Bismillah.
I'll send it.
Bismillah is so bad. Everyone will know. What are you talking about?
Let him continue.
So that when it comes, you can disprove me. But let me just go ahead.
Oh, I'm not trying to disprove you.
No, I mean it's not.
That's not the intention. The intention we are learning.
I'm not talking. I'm not referring. I'm not alluding to you alone.
Okay.
Any member can just tell me, probably I didn't see it. So you just say, Mazu, this is what Adinkra said. You see, simple as that. We are in an era of fact checking. Now, so having established this, it is not the first time we have had a presidential candidate selecting a lady, as his running mate. All right. In going back to 1992, there was a professor who wrote the first English book of SSS, She's called Professor Nasaki. Nas Feli Satafio. She was picked as a running mate to General Eskan. 1996, the PPP Progressive Party, headed by Pakosi Indom, selected Brigade.
2016, right?
2016.
Yeah.
This lady, partner, PPP.
PPP, okay.
Pakosi Indom, partner Pakosi Indom, Brigade. Then you come to the same 2012. After 2016, the same PPP. Evan Loco became running mate to Pakosi Indom, a renowned broadcaster and a journalist with an impeccable track record of delivery. So this is not the first time.
You are using my word, pal.
Now, come to CPP in 2012. Nana Akosua Frimpoma Sapon was selected to be a running mate.
But listen, you know it was not a winning ticket.
What are you talking about? We're talking about political parties selecting a running mate. People are making it as if this is the first time.
No,
let's take it. Let me chronicle this to you.
Okay.
Then PNC in 2012. Hassan Ayarga selected Helen Matavia as his running mate. Then the same PNC again in 1996. Edlin Nate was selected as a running mate. What I'm trying to tell you here is that this is not the first time the people of Ghana or political party in our country has expressed interest or has a respect for lady. But it looks as if NDC is trying to make something. But that notwithstanding, you see, in our politics, or anybody who has done much or who follow politics, Latif, it is not about the running mate. Like Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia said, the running mate can be fantastically good, but if the flag bearer is an incompetent and indecisive, there's nothing that will come out of that. So we welcome her very well and we wish her all the best.
Thank you.
Like I said, an enviable track record of academic, but an excellent and appalling track record in politics. It was during her time that teacher training allowances were cancelled. It was during her time that nurses training allowances were cancelled. It was during her time that as a minister for education, when I heard Sami Jemfi talking about that the decision to cancel teacher training or was cabinet level.
Okay, thank you.
Sami Jemfi as a politician, he's not even aware that an education minister is a member of cabinet.
General Mazu, that's a great presentation.
Thank you.
But I think that one thing that we also have to look into it and say, for now, a year teachers training college, they are being paid 400 Ghana cedis.
Very good money.
As compared to when NDC was there, they were paying 500.
Who told you that?
Oh, that's something. That's a.
Who are training college?
And only number one. Number two, according to Mami Ayakanasemi, also during the time, one can say omo hono, and omo allowance no. Koso. I will send you when the video no.
Okay.
One can say with more than no. They didn't have a problem. They didn't have a problem with that, but the incoming ones. But Mazu, don't you think that in life, we need a change? We need a change. Number one, I'm going to make us say, this country, okay, this beautiful country that we live in,
and enjoy.
American, yet American swa. Sorry, we just have to do the right thing, okay? So what nursing school you paid for, you take loan. Now they are cost. You are on your own. Nobody controls you. You chose a Juma Wopesa Wenge. And don't you think say in life, if Obika Sabianka or person can change him ra. If the approach and that's the delivery wasn't the best. But in some way a high learned person, when we put politics aside Matthew, you are a very intelligent person and
Thanks for that acknowledgement.
No. In reality, I don't doubt your integrity. But the Americans say we still have to think about change. It become more competitive. Cramp, you know. Say, me feel say so be here for tuition.
Are you?
Just 1 minute for me to answer this. That will be me. You see, you look at the historical antecedent of why people are taking the alawa, why people are being paid on this money. It started in 1965.
Oh yeah,
you understand? Now, say
I did national service.
Let me tell you,
I did national service.
So, Kaya,
good.
It takes only an incompetent administration to bring change simultaneously or instantaneously. Any competent person would not bring change. Boom.
I think that we don't believe in change. We don't really believe in change.
I don't know
because we don't believe in change. Whatever he was doing,
simultaneous is mean we are doing two things at the same time.
I'm saying this is the making about immigration. A certificate the new members now or more new cases never no old cases in there. Mono money. Oh yeah. No 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Oh, na ne time out the man no e does mo. Time out the man mazu no does.
The time is not.
1 month.
Oh, but me buy the started but time no kasa e bro 5 minutes.
Sometimes we kasa say no crap so kasa ya na nke e ko.
But time I only want you to know say we kasa be 5 minutes.
2 minutes.
And the man be say me can does.
2 minutes.
Fire, we are not competing, please. I'm not competing with you. We are not in contest.
No, I'm not saying we are in contest. By the time you give, you have to get the same thing.
What you can say 3 minutes wasted. You have just gone straight to the point, and that is not fair.
Okay, with the mommy starting. By the time I would say with the mommy, I want it to be like his time.
And for 8 o'clock.
Okay.
It's about the time that we start. We started almost 6 o'clock.
We say na Jane Opoku Ajima.
Yeah.
That's our vice elect. All this one now opposition every day be about how Mr. and my vice were in as for. Yeah, my vice were in. Finally, the vice has come, and as we said, this is a woman of substance. Woman just say which one the track records now is one of the I may say is among the best. Obienu obenya asem boni bia ka fa no. Omo kan say why say ni na frustration and ato omo from the the incumbent because Omaka all those say NDC say no oba no na the first person. Those parties now I'm mentioning that those parties are mushroom parties. When will those parties win power to come and rule? And to say we are talking about a political party that can win election, and that is the NDC and the MPP. And we are the first to give the chance to women. And I know there is some more respecting more say no my one year mo can say 2008 mo be select Adam Hwan mo select no Akufo-Addo and select no yanti din biasa. It was done within closed doors by Amba public. And we are the first type of any woman. And to make a woman in the records, she has been a vice chancellor from the University of Cape Coast. Mainly department na me or English, French, and I did the same thing, English, French education. Into a role model. Most of us are role model. Or a dean, or vice chancellor. Everyone obey education minister. And if you look at her records now, she has her academic destiny is in 3 different folds. She's in the English department, education, and what do we call it? He's a trained journalist too. And you know how well this one performed when she became educational minister. It takes only people who don't have foresight to say a woman not performing badly. It is neither here nor there. She is one of the best ministers we have ever had during our time under the 4th Republic. Education minister, she's one of the best. Why am I saying that? Under ne tenor no or niema p look at the construction of these 200 secondary schools going to seek for the loan and everything. It was done through her. And the senior secondary school progressively free senior high school no was started under her. And on making sure say or can you say only John Dramani Mahama say ye need facilities no into ye putting more facilities ready now ye tinya ye then aye secondary school no yama na ye free asem o kan enye na da ho no progressive obi ja Toronto by or so yenye ne sesi a enye ne na da ni traffic light no e bi ko 2 months na bi aba. Can you compare this regime to her regime? Are you saying it? And you know there are several things are why and now if you look at say ABA the time no capitation in near manina a double ye time or them me boboso track records is about 40 of them. So they say but what time no team mean cost 2 months me can say me cost I mean to me come here under her she supervised 2 universities. University of UHAS in Ho was under her construction, and then the one in Eastern Region, University of Environment and Science and Sustainable Development in Eastern Region. They will start academic year this year. She supervised everything into the 2 universities. Abeka University. What sort of record can't you attribute to this woman? Are you getting it? And then at the same time, to know, me records now. A lot of things are why the opposition is saying we're cancelling what do you call it, teacher trainee allowance. It is not true. Let me delve into that matter here. Also any atf mutie ni ye training college allowance no once one jamuda it was substituted. You can see substitution na say ebianka moji loan no emoji allowance no moji loan, and it was based on one thing. Training college na na ko be ma ko training college da training college no. Yes. What went on is that, please listen to me. Yes. What goes on is that, please yes and no person Ghana for you to name here because you got training college, you know. First, because we have something we call quota system. The quota system prevent people from not having access to go into the school because your quota system no say school will for 150. And you go by 150 count. But here go school now, at least 300, 400 in the school. They are all qualified. But because of the quota system, they will give you allowance. They will take all those people out. They will take only 150. And then the government best sponsor. So what they say? But there were people who were yearning, the youth, who were yearning to go in for teaching and nursing. Ghana see create jobs. Is that not one of the avenues to create jobs? And the idea they say, mienyi sa quota system no fi ho na ye mofra no enya school no nko na mu bi o manya adwuma ye enti ye quota system no fi ho na school no start for 300 and 350 at a go eya na say enye so what you say ye quota system no fi ho no na nkola no 300 to 350 to me go school no mu at the beginning admission. So what you say, unlike the olden days now quota system no ho na nkola no 150 penny e be fa no obi timi try training college for 3 good years na onya admission. Into a few na no asesa na bi no so okope bibi for e minka the main idea no say opeso ye teacher ni opeso ye nurse but we nya because of the quota system but ye quota system no few na nya say cancellation na we no di year campaign nya sa na ti one cancel or substitute no to loan it say abai be ma osika no so what they say na we wie a wa kwa ye adwuma meba o enu kura ti ni meba o enu very good tie ni ye na tie de omo so ka no atie omo to omo de no enu kura ti no ye sa feed you 3 times a day mpacho sa de enye na poku adwuma nka no say ma you know na fi wonti no me ma modani o allowance no me ma modani o sa feed you 3 times in a day. What do you need again? So that you, the youth, will get a job to do. And at the same time, too, we are having teacher deficit in the country. Maybe we are.
If you do more,
say, almost video Mokrana, allowance no, I had the mom on Omuti film until they get 205 and yet even 400. Listen to me very well. Sikana and Kalaya Tam and 2 allowance, we're paying them 450 and they allowance. So what I say, by you, when you feel one, you feed you no maji loan. So what I say, 3 square miles, so that get the education, get the employment. Parents men are won't pay way. You want to educate your children and then they will come and do home after SS. No number, sir.
No, for me, so I say. First, so we are training teacher training college right away. You goes into the teacher.
Very this are maybe very good. Maybe ho. Until I make us say 5 minutes now. Can need no boom. I mean, bah. Yeah, time no. Now no poku aji my time no. We are pursue straight. No wakwa ye juma. But when you buy and almost see allowance is so a worker sometimes 8 months granny in 2 hours. Say no crano it has taken away what you call bonding. Yeah, time you bond who that any call me a bond we be post to and then you go na poni Akufo-Addo abeye fi ho tie ni ye nti akwara ni wi a ye so nkoye national service 1 year we national service no wi a unim sika ye ma 500 a month meanwhile senkai we your time no na we are you be taking 1,300 look at how many the government is stealing from you. Have you seen it? 500 no de be ma o enso se wo koye time na nke be pay 1,300 ni nyina chi so ye post o you be posted when there is vacancy and then training college ni teacher nursing no akoye say unim obi wa ban mu a uwi a na obenya adwuma ye unlike Jane time no uwi a na ma post you sa police we ni omo de ye na ye. So what you say? It is be MPP for they capitalize on that and due to lack of knowledge. Our people didn't almost at the end of church allowance. He never cancel it. It was substituted. Substitution means replace it with something. And conditions no the man no a toa dimu a tonya a toa sumu say the omo kano. So what you say? It now yes I'm because I'm coming now no. Number na double number nke eco training college no a double because of what take quota system no fi no utie me ye enti nkwana ne bebre komu no manya adwuma beye so what you say na at the same time so no we ya post you and na ye post you ukwa akoye national service we wie so 1 year omuti o na ye twen say vacancy mbra when will the vacancy come until you have been to school you take 400 no go inform mo no muji 200 and something now we di allowance no we are now school na wako ni nyina no wo ba betina fi odu unsa she would definitely form like this say da be na e be frame who will call you we all know Ghana right
I'm here ready to near summarize
so okay looking at it no
I'm very sorry for the timing.
What I wanted to make clear is that cancellation or kind and no correct. Even it was not it was substituted. And I will make it reasons. Quota system was taken out to allow our children to have access to nursing training and teacher training. So what I say, unko try 3 years now we need admission. Yeah, tell me school I make list by it was about 700. Mimi French, not the only French training college in the country. I make 700 a year for 150. And I mean Narodino, and you know all the teachers that teach us, no. Teacher need be our coins for this student back every year. Until when they are 30 in the school, this is going to be deducted from the 150. Until 120 near Befa fit tallest in everybody. Meanwhile, the list that came, everybody is qualified. That is why the principal pick your card. Are you getting it? It is here this animal way in a fluent. Baby, no in your school no call. Meanwhile, we were having teacher deficit at the school. Can maybe a school baby teacher me and Sunday teaching class 1 to 6. You can't class 1 and 2 boma or class on which you boom. Are you getting it? Ghana no enya no kwani Kumasi ni Accra neta kwadi. Go to the villages and you will see what is going on. Eti no beba o me land up. Na opoko ajima chire mu. Eti ema yesa ye den it take a lot of people teachers to teach. Look at some of them. One day I was going to school. Let me tell you, I will share this thing here, but I don't want to say it, but I will share it. Me go school. Only my day I make who ya na teacher ni tre. Body green ni red, yellow plantain and green plantain. What will be that? Uchira kolas adie we yellow plantain, brother na abreno. And a green green plantain. Are you getting it?
1 minute.
So in effect, you know, also this woman has a good record. Yes, yes, he has a good record. And he's going to transform. Yes, he's going to transform.
Just use 1
minute. Look at what Ofaya is doing.
Yeah, with JJ.
We've talked for 10 minutes, and they are telling you to.
I'm telling you that the thing broad internet service to me because
I think just use this opportunity to wrap up, because if I'm going to talk about the nomination of Nana Jane Professor, I think I wanted to go into the Constitution to quote a provision that shows. That's what I'm saying. I didn't say anything. So it means we can't even discuss it, because just 1 minute will not give me the chance to do a proper analysis and interpretation of the nomination of this woman as one of the. That's right. So you see, in the first place, the nomination of Nana Professor alone, I mean, made MPP and other opposition parties strategy go spiral out of the normal thing they were thinking about to get somebody, you know, like one Nana, as they said,
COVID-19 and registration.
Also, the woman has a track record, educational track record that you can't equal. Any vice president now nomination, anybody cannot equal that woman's record. You can't. And then secondly, don't forget, per the provision that we have in the Constitution of Ghana, if every woman gets a portfolio, the Constitution says that nobody should even say a word against any gender, especially women. If you say anything by way of looking down upon or disdaining the fact that this is a woman that had been taken to
that's
come
the
in
Constitution.
Constitutionally, let me that provision 20 is here. When you check the Constitution, it says on the women's right, a man to me, your Constitution, dear mama, it says 27 subsection 3, women shall be guaranteed equal rights to training and promotion without any impediment from any person. So all this alteration, all this
so
talking
point,
Mr. Lamino.
Mazu, don't come
no,
in.
Please.
You see, this, I didn't go. Let me make my submission.
Okay. Go ahead.
You see the whole thing. What Untumi said was bogus. What Bobby said. What Chairman said.
The Director of Communications.
Yes. What Chairman said was appalling.
And why do I speak that way?
Yeah, Abronya no. I did also say Abronya and Kasano. What the mamu way to her? Who school ben wako?
Exactly.
Please. Yeah, the mami way to her school ben wako.
Yeah.
Mami a wawun kwada miensa. Wahwe kwada na mo mu ina anya PhD.
Yeah, it's a Ghana politics sometimes.
It is a total be a woman kind of credit. Asema constitution kai wo chairman sir any ukasa abobra.
Yeah, because more I believe me, say anywhere I stand now, I will speak highly about each one of you here.
Also, this is constitutionally, these guys have violated the woman's right. Because this woman has gone through and then also come to talk about what my many a before. And then somebody sitting down to say the woman is
one yard. It's totally wrong. And I think Abronya should be called to order.
That's what I'm saying.
Abronya is behaving,
even Chairman himself. And then
go to Chairman's constituency.
One yard.
So you see, these are some of the statements that they will do, and women will go in droves to vote for this woman.
Yes.
Because I have 2 girls. Maybe Mohazo has 1 girl. What are you sending? What message are you sending to women?
Yeah.
I mean, what are the signals? What are the symbols you are saying? Say, yani a man at school. I've sat with women in the university,
and some
they beat us in class.
Now wait, Makola 16 years or not or
you see the whole thing?
Everything for me on the computer.
It is you or Bana say who won't in control because you belong to a particular party. Instead of so take your time and now what maybe to investigate her track record. You just start mentioning things that you don't even think. Oh yeah, how near her will never hear it. Or pictures they say a flow is viral. Won't to me, will never hear it. What say mommy say Anka Yadi Anhofe and your toaba Ankanana Kufado. Excuse me, will not be the president of Ghana. Mahama would have won. Let's be honest. Let's be honest here. I'm being honest in the sense that also into Ghanaian should understand say and you will near the vote to man. We name there near the obit my year. Into sa walk or casa or buy a sayer. Do
you think that in this situation we should hold individually accountable and now say we should attach them to the party?
Soldier, when you obey, you say House of Force in Kaza una de Meturari, Kakitashi the Kanshi. When you sit with somebody who sells perfume, when you go home, you go with nice scent. Into Abronya, and I want to be our Koya, fresh Adian, with free party bemu.
Yeah.
And MPP. Chairman Sabons with free party bemu. And MPP. Into people would link you to them. Meanwhile, that's not the stand of the party. Because the party has women who are capable, just like the woman that had been nominated. In Ghana, I just want them to come back and think, say, look, when somebody is taking, especially what the majority leader said, if Mahama is not there, why do you choose vice? The vice is there. If the president is not there, he steps into his steps. And then you start questioning the capability of that woman. When you don't even have a professorial, your friends saying, dissertation.
Brofo?
One, but again, academic work, Ben, why PhD?
Yeah, but the point is,
you have it.
Because chairmen are small working. This one has been a vice chancellor.
That's right.
A whole university. A whole college.
What is your Debbie? The question is, if no, let me land. I haven't finished. If you pick all parliamentarians in Ghana today, it will take a few people to get Professor J. Manson's qualification.
Oh, no doubt about that.
I think we have people who are in the parliament and they are yes men. They are yes men. You can say yeah. No, I just yeah.
No, I didn't pay.
No, I didn't
pay.
But
you know, say she was even I think a radio host. This somewhere in the 90s.
The woman is a journalist. She said it.
She's a journalist. A trained journalist. A trained journalist.
Spio Gabra, Honorable B. Fuseni, Professor Jane Nana, Opoko Ajima, Abdul Malik, Kweku Bako, and a diplomat at an event at Radio Gold in the late 90s.
That's right.
Okay.
So also
do you know the academy was a brilliant radio host on, and you know, who's a politician? That's
also
one thing I don't understand.
They are making all mistake away, and I was saying you thought maybe there could be a lawyer or somebody who was economics.
Is it an insult?
You see the whole thing.
Listen, Lawrence.
Look at Lawrence.
Lawrence did not choose an economist.
That's right.
Okay.
Now, you even narrow into their side.
That's right.
Atamils didn't do that.
That's right.
So it doesn't mean that choosing a running mate should be an economist.
Use Kweku Bako. No, use Kweku Bako as an example. Kweku Bako has not gone to any high academic whatever. But this man is he's a glutton when it comes to reading. He reads anything and he makes argument that even lawyers cannot make those arguments.
That if next time see COVID-19 now, can you into Castle? Because this was very interesting topic. It's very important. Next time, next week, I think that next week, we'll still continue.
No, we have to deal
like 30 minutes with this because it's we empowering.
Also, that you see this provision, we have to read it for all Ghanaians to know.
Latif, yes, Latif. Abdul Latif in the house. Call me. If I make better money, I know.
Yeah, also, Medasi, and I really enjoy it.
And I think 3 minutes. Now 1 for 2 minutes.
The meme was Eka Professor Jinana Mensa nomination, you know. I see it as a sense of hope for our daughters, our wives, and it gives it gender balance, especially in the era of slave queen, where you see youth thinking the easiest path to rise up to success is to just follow social media and men. That is not the case. So she coming into the picture portrays women to be well respected, as it's supposed to be. But unfortunately, like you rightly said, in our part of the world, women have been put behind. Meanwhile, per our history, there are incidents or instances that we are told per our history. We had Yasantua who had to champion a good cause. So women, per even General Mensah's own submission, have contributed so much to the socio-economic development of our country. The only reason why her nomination has become a big issue of discussion is because it's the first time an opposition or a major political party has nominated a woman. And aside that issue too, is a wake-up call to MPP, because the least expected the least expected she was going to be getting the nod, just as my brother rightly said. And with her credentials, you can't question it. Where I do have issues with the supporters and key members of MPP is the way they've targeted her, not on issues but on trivial things. I would rather want them to question her stewardship as the then vice chancellor of a whole university. Probably if she failed to do the right thing, or
interrogate her records.
Interrogate her records. But unfortunately, people like Wontumi and Co are just beating about the bush. And the issue of whether she's capable to run the office, I don't think it should be even coming from people like majority leader or Chairman Sabonso. Because if you look at the constitutional provision, if you look at the constitutional provision 62 of the 1992 Constitution, what the major conditions is the person, he or she, should supposed to be a citizen of Ghana by birth. And the other thing is he or she has to attain at least age 35. And we're talking about somebody who is 68 years. So 35, 68
in November.
Should be 69 in November. That doesn't come in. And the core duty is to step into the shoes of the president when he's away.
That's why she's.
And she has already had that opportunity to serve as education minister. Questioning her ability, I don't think is proper. Other things should be
talked about. Her ability and her integrity.
Integrity is not proper because the portfolios that she may be compelled to administer or supervise will be, as part of her duty, will be National Security Council, as a member of the National Security Council, Armed Forces Council, the Police Service, as we keep saying here, the Prison Service. So these are the core duties that she will even be compelled or ascribed by the Constitution for her to manage. There's nothing like she's supposed to be this or that or this much. So what our appeal to
but not even an economist.
No, not even. The issue of an economist, I think,
doesn't even come
from what I'm seeing is
from what
I'm seeing
like 25 seconds.
From what I'm seeing is MPP was looking for somebody with economics background.
That they can match
Dr. Baumia. Unfortunately,
Baumia is a useless entity.
It's like
no, please don't use that word.
That's what we
trust me, you know what, we are learning, we are trying to educate people, but you know what, he's a very smart,
super incompetent.
But he can use that word. Exactly.
The last thing I want to
thank you.
The last thing
that we love Baumia. Yeah. The only thing is sometimes it's not everything that he
says.
But don't discredit him totally.
I want to
hear
everything.
Let him withdraw. He's not a useless entity. No.
Super incompetent.
Thank you.
Yeah.
20 seconds.
Yeah. On the issue of on this same issue, I want to draw the attention of Ghanaians in general to respect the provision, which is Electronic Communication Act 2008, Act 775, that talks about giving false information. Just as you are, whoever goes about giving false information can be subjected to severe punishment. It says a person who knowingly transmits or circulates false or deceptive, distressed, safety, identifiable signals commits an offense, and it's liable on summary conviction to a fine of more than 3,000 penalties.
As we know,
so what we're trying to say is let's all respect each other.
That's right.
Debate on issues instead of
let's attack the issue on substance basis. Yeah, okay. May I say Abdul Latif? Abdul Latif. The boy is in the house.
Well, let me use this opportunity to thank my colleagues, panelists, and you as a host, and every individual who is listening to us. This has been very refreshing. You know, we are here discussing things that will propel and project the image of Mother Ghana. I think I made it very clear here that the lady cannot be equal when it comes to academic pedigree. She has excellently distinguished herself very brilliantly, no doubt about that. Latif made a mention that NPP was expecting NDC to produce an economy. How? NPP cannot decide.
It's going on social media. As if maybe don't. As if maybe don't read the news.
He's never.
To be honest with you, I have them. That's what I'm saying. That now you know what, I'm going to send you information.
No, take your time. You see, Latif. Let's speak as politicians. Listen. When you see a bold supporter of an NPP, making scandalous statement. It doesn't represent the party.
Everybody is saying.
You see, Yao, it's an apology of an NDC who says Bawuya is a useless. It doesn't represent.
You're correct here.
No. It doesn't represent the statement of NDC. Please, let's get this thing. But as any member of Chairman Sabonso using that statement, this lady, you had wanted us to go into the grammar structure of that thing. I don't want us to go there, because if you go there, all of us will find ourselves very wanting. Don't let us go there. Secondly, I sharply disagree with any member of MPP who uses disparaging comments, insult against the lady. Like I told you, when the announcement came in.
But seriously, Jeremazu, not to cut you, if you really want us to go there, grammatically, I can prove it.
It will wait our time, but we will find our.
It's just because you know what? English language is flexible.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And your presentation either is based on command or is based on request. Then when you use the word this lady, you are trying to discredit the person.
And that's what. This is why I told you.
I don't want us to. So
I don't want us to go there.
When we sit in the car, we can talk about it.
Okay, no problem. Very good.
Okay.
So which is why I just told you I don't want us to go there.
I always give you the chance, but today.
No. You see, if you want us to go there, I have no problem.
Exactly.
I told you I don't want us to go there. So let's just leave it there. Latif, who has followed the debate between John McCain and Obama in 2008?
Yeah. Well, well followed. Yeah.
You follow it?
Yeah, we follow it. Yeah.
So I don't want us to go there. Just let's leave it there. But
you are the same person that when you said over here, you said the politics of today is not good because we don't base it on substance. So we're trying to discredit people that try to discredit people.
I told you, whoever uses disparaging language against didn't try.
Okay,
I also admitted that I posted something. Radio called me. Radio in Ghana called me. I use certain word. What is it?
And that's what I said.
Photogenic.
This one ready.
Well, no problem. NPP
in the house.
MPP is battle ready to meet Jan Mensah. Fortunately, it is not a record that we are going to interrogate. We're interrogating the record of the head, who is JM. We know him.
Thank you.
We've been able to handle him.
That's scary.
We defeated him, and then we are repeating that one again. And then concluding this, please, my cousins NDC should be very, very principled. Because, if you know, politics entails a lot of principles. If you are seen not to be principled, today you say this, tomorrow you change your mouth. It doesn't augur well for you. It doesn't project you as a credible individual. It dents your credibility as a politician. And this is amply demonstrated by members of the NDC. It's unfortunate. Together, let NDC MPP bring their heads together so that we'll be able to push Ghana ahead. Tomorrow, all of us will retire and go and live in a country called Ghana.
Yes,
with this, I sign off.
Thank you.
Also,
what about
also,
25 seconds.
Also,
25
shouldn't
seconds.
forget, politics is a game of number.
Yeah, 25 seconds.
Okay.
Only 25 seconds.
I mean,
okay.
Okay. In effect, in a nutshell, looking at our vice president have been nominated by the flag bearer. I see nothing wrong with her. I see that she has a solid track record. She has been education minister before, a VC for the whole University of Cape Coast. She managed affairs and also have the technical know-how in education. And education is the key area that is most at times needed in order to help us develop the human resource that we need in our country in order to get it all the other things that we have to manage it.
So thank you.
She has that expertise.
So much. You see, the last thing I'm going to tell all the parties is that also, politics is a game of number. Anything you're going to do, could either let you lose a number or add a number. So be careful, NDC and MPP, on any party at all. Anything that we do could either add or deduct.
Thank you. What are you trying to say? You're on air. Latif, 25 seconds.
Also, yeah, that's it. To wrap up now, what I have to say is, or I want to say is to appeal to various political parties to dissociate themselves from politics of insult, because as we speak, Ghanaians are more discerning enough compared to years back. If you look at since the advent of social media, the rate at which information disseminates makes it easier for people to assess and tell who is telling the right or who is telling the wrong thing. So as we head towards 2020 election, let's all respect each other, speak on issues instead of trivial matters that will escalate and result in unnecessary tension. Thank you for the match.
This woman is not an insult.
Yo, everything I want. A honey a day agrono ever every year. A honey a day agrono every year. Wonder mofia machine you want join ye. One time mofia must oh, my level by Shatawale. Shatawale dear. Next year, we are wrapping up. Yeah, 2 hours. Our great nation, Ghana. NDC running late. COVID-19 and registration.
Anybody publish a pen to I know my level. I know my level.
Yes, no one there.
Oh, my level. The time I waka. I mean, I can put my bed.
Yeah, also subscribe to the media and I want to say. Yep, one shot, Facebook, one follow you.
The time I buy my.
I want the free.
Just the camera can beg it. What I love is I don't need this life
by saying
because I got my Bible. Because the blessings I get from the Most High is so great. Say this thing today.
Yeah,
I know my
that's my air kind there.
I know my life.
NGC running late.
Oh my life.
We put politics aside. But we're talking about well-educated woman who is serving as a role model for the new generation.
Maybe today I don't get nothing.
She's really a role model.
Tomorrow I go get something.
Professor Jane Nana if I'm seeing you so easy, yes,
we start
the will of God for you.
sing my song. If I keep up the lamb, Jesus Christ
may destroy your image, send your personality, but they can't take away your good deeds, because no matter how they describe you, you will still be admired by those who really know you better. You can follow me on Instagram, MC Osoya, and on Facebook, Ben Blanson. And also, we just want to tell our youth, please think about education, think about working. Recently, there was a shooting in the Bronx, and it's so shocking. I think it was gun related. We're just advising our young ones, the youth, that they should go to school, they should learn, they should be principled. That's our piece of advice to our youth. Hard work doesn't break bone. We're signing off and we say thank you. You don't want to say Nyankopon onjere o back be next week at the same time. Nothing yo nyakaba wonder mofia moshi.
Jesus, you love me too much, oh, too much, oh, too much, oh, excess love, oh, Jesus, you love me too much, oh, too much, oh, too much, too much, oh, excess love, oh. You have done so much for me, I cannot tell it all. I just wanna say, Narikilimo. If I had 10,000 tongues, it still will be enough. Narikilimo. Shukuna kwama relay. When you heal completely. Chukuma robi mo. Easy can do center of it all. It's you that I see. It's you that I see. At the center of it all, it's you that I see. It's you that I see. At the center of it all, it's you that I see. It's you that I see. At the center of it all, it's you that I see. It's you that I see. There is power in your name. Miracles happen in your name. Oh. As we lift our voice and praise, it's you that I see. It's you that I see. There is power in your name. Oh, miracles happen in your name. Oh, as we lift our voice and praise, it is you that I see. It's you that I see. My favorite part. You were bigger, bigger than the biggest. You were stronger,